All right, everyone, welcome back to Sabado Sessions podcast. Today we have none other than the voice of powerlifting, Mr. King of the Lifts himself, 6PackLapadat. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, no, we're excited to do this one. It's been I was looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say it right here. I've been nervous, but let's have fun anyway. And just before we do start, I think everyone's ready for this. Just a quick toast to the voice of powerlifting himself, everyone.
Thank you, fellas.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Cheers.
Salud.
Oh,
Burns so good, huh?
yeah.
Lets you know you're alive.
Put some hair in your chest and all that.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, sir, how have you been? First and foremost.
Been I was busy as shit doing Junior Worlds in Turkey. You boys have been busy as shit too, huh?
Yeah.
Been seeing you guys have been cranking out the content, doing your damn thing. Very proud of you, fellas.
Oh, thank
Very
you. No,
proud of you,
honestly,
fellas.
that's a lot coming from you, and obviously, you're doing your thing when you were in Turkey. Obviously, every pretty much session, we heard your voice. We were like, yeah, we know who that is. We know exactly who's putting in that work. So if you're putting in that work, we got to put in the work too. We just had to bring in none other than the IPF president himself. All thanks to Durance, by the way. But
that was a big one.
Honestly, that was actually on a whim, right? Because I don't know if you ever saw the stories, but we actually asked our followers like, who do you want on? And it was my coach, as a joke, was like, oh, get Gaston on the podcast. And I sent the screenshot to Durance, and Durance was like, I'll talk to him. I might as well ask him, see what happens. And then,
why not,
bro? Like, he just said, yeah, pick a date, and then boom, there it was. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Like, if you don't ask, you don't get. It's the same time. Right. It's the same thing. Like when I asked Ryan, "What are you feeling? Are you up to jump on our podcast?" If he didn't have time, he would have just said, "My man, I'm sorry, I'm busy." Sometimes, like we think some people can't be approachable, but sometimes you just have to ask, innit?
This is true. I mean, if the worst thing that can happen is no, and sometimes it's not even no, it's just not right now, and it could be a timing thing, right? Like with Gaston, did you guys get him before Turkey or after? I'm assuming before.
After. The day after,
bro. Literally the day after, bro.
On a Monday.
Damn, he was like, I don't know how he's squeezing all this in. God bless him. But yeah, I mean, sometimes just timing, depending on like what everybody's doing, but most people are going to be like, yeah, what the hell? Unless they're like here's the thing. If someone's super introverted and they don't like, they don't like to discuss, they get nervous and whatnot. They don't know, then they might not.
No, but there must be something you do. Cause I've sort of like, when I've listened to you and how you do your podcasts, you do something to sort of like bring a guest more or less out of their shell. Cause that's what we try to do. Like especially when we had like Gaston or even like those with like not very confident in English, like Agatha, we just sort of like have to conversate with them in a way that, hey, you can be comfortable talking to us. Like we had Gaston saying shit show on a platform that's open to the world, for goodness sake, and he wouldn't dare say that. He wouldn't dare say that on like at the banquets or anything.
Yeah, he would.
He
would. Oh, yeah, he would.
Wait, on the mic?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, fair enough.
He's wild. He's wild.
So he was even chatting shit about USAPL as well. Let's not forget on the podcast. So.
I know.
Was he?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
My man's a shoot from the hip, huh?
Yeah.
Is it them ones like again? Ryan is like is the platform, isn't it? When you provided that safe and comfortable environment, people can be themselves. That's what we're trying to do here. And pretty much that's what you've been doing for all these years. So the blueprint is set. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. Everyone that does these powerlifting podcasts, there's not a single podcast that is out there that does not follow your footprint in terms of
thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
Make it comfortable. It's true. I mean, when we started these things as well, that's one of the things we said to ourselves. We have to make a very comfortable environment. When people come in, they're themselves. I mean, there's another one we did yesterday. Rondell will drop soon. Listen to that. This man is not a joke.
No, sir.
Man.
No, he's caught up too. I remember I had Rondell like 2018 when he won the Junior Worlds way back in 2018. Not long afterwards, I had him on the podcast. Let's fuck me, like 4 years, time flies. But he's caught up in some political shit. And I'm
Yeah.
sure he's got a story to tell.
No.
And
Oh,
I'm
he did.
sure,
Oh, he
yeah,
did.
yeah. I
Oh, he
bet,
did.
man. And and I'm still curious on what's gonna happen with him. Because
Listen to the podcast. He
Yeah,
said
when
it all.
when it drops, bro.
He said it all. He did not hold
Really?
back. Yep. He said
Oh,
it. He's,
shit.
basically, let me just give you a preview. He said, where
Yeah.
is it going to be? What is it going to do? And why is it coming to do it for?
And no one is safe.
And no one is safe.
Oh, shit.
You know? And
Wow.
he named people by names. He didn't go like, oh yeah, I want to achieve this because of that person. No. My man went by names.
Fuck. See, that's it. That's bold. Some people are
Yeah.
bold enough to go names. Some people just do like, well, here's my numbers, and whatever those numbers take me to, I'm comfortable with. And some people are like, no, fuck that. I want to beat this guy, that guy, because this guy's the
Yeah.
man. This whatever.
That's literally the energy we got when we had Bob on. He was like, you know what? When people
Yeah,
talk
he was
about
the same.
it's you against you, fuck that. I'm coming to beat this motherfucker, and that's that.
American
Bob drops
attitude,
names.
isn't it?
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Bob straight up said, I got to beat Ashton. I want to beat Taylor's, I think it was his GL points,
Dots.
whatever.
Yeah.
Shit.
Dots, yeah,
His dots. Yeah, I want to he was naming names, man, because these
Yeah.
are like the people. And when you take those scalps, add them to your resume, then you're the man.
I mean, Rondell says he doesn't want to beat them. He want to crush every single individual. That's just a little bit I gave you there.
Well, he's a monster, been waiting to come back out.
Hell yeah. So Ryan, this is about you. So my first question is, my man, you have King of the Lift, voice of
Yes, sir.
powerlifting, right?
Yes, sir.
There's two things here. You used to be a powerlifter yourself,
Yes, sir.
right? And so what made you transition of thinking, do you know what? I'm good at this shit. I'm good at being the voice. I'll leave the lifting to other people and I will focus on the voice.
Well, here's the thing. Your athletic career is only going to be so long, period. No matter who you are.
Of course.
Like your athletic window is yay big. And in terms of like an athletic window, like there's so many fucking powerlifters, and I still lift weights in the whole nine too. Injuries and whatnot start catching up, and in terms of like peaking, that catches up to you, and it's like I'm not going to do this much longer. But in terms of the media side, like the podcast and doing like the broadcast, the live stream and whatnot, you know, there's certain things. It's far more, there's far less people doing podcasts and the broadcast at a fucking very high level.
Yeah.
You can turn into, if you listen to a broadcast, not for nothing, but you listen to live streams, you can kind of tell if it's just a power lifter, or you can kind of tell if it sounds like a guy, like he's kind of got the same podcast tonage. He's got, there's broadcast talk, accent, cadence, whatever the fuck it is, that's different. And very few, if not nobody's quite got, when you turn it on and it sounds different than I'm talking now, it's different on the broadcast. And if you could, that is something that, like, if we're going to make it onto ESPN and we're already on Eurosport and all the rest of it, people have to tune in and it sounds the same. It sounds like a broadcast. It's difficult for me to explain the broadcaster accent, but you know when you hear it.
I kind of get what you mean, because of
you understand. It's not podcast. It's not conversational. The way you talk, it just becomes slight. It's very subtle.
It's that thing that, like, I guess it garners attention, right? Like it's just something about it. It's you're gonna be drawn to that sort of
even the inflection of your words and the drawing out of certain words into the next, when you end a sentence, there's a way you're doing it. And it's not the same as conversational on the podcast. So you could get people who are good lifters, good podcasters, good speakers, and they're good as co's. So a co is the retired athlete or current athlete or whoever the shit the coach, and that is your co, and they don't need that. But when you do lead, watch the UFC tonight, watch boxing, watch any sport, the lead talks differently. And you will find out, you will hear the slight cadence and accent they use when they prolong words, hit words, and they do it in a certain way. That is different. And Joe Rogan's like, I can't fucking lead. This is Joe Rogan. He's like, I can't do it.
Do you know who I feel does do it? Because you mentioned UFC, DC. Daniel Cormier. He doesn't do
lead though. Nah, dog.
No, but I think he wants it. He sounds like he wants it though. Every time he's had Khabib on, anytime he's had like any other athlete, he's doing what you more or less just described there.
The play-by-play is John Anik, who does. If you listen to John Anik and then the fella's talking, and then John Anik, and the play-by-play is different. The play-by-play and lead is different than the co. The co's are Daniel Cormier, Joe Rogan, Michael Bisping, whatever the shit.
Yeah.
It's difficult, man. Look, in terms of this shit, because I did reality TV show and did like work with TV producers on all this and was like media trained. And it's very, very subtle, but it's very, very difficult as well. And you can't, it's very difficult to take someone and be like, now you have to start talking this one specific way and change the way you use, like prolong certain words on purpose, have a certain accent to it. It's fucking difficult to explain, man. A lot of it's just.
That's why not many can do it. That's why IPF have trusted their sport in you to be the voice. Do you know what I mean? There's one caveat I can give there is when Jess was going for that world championship in South Africa, you did forget that you were lead on that mic.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What did I do? Probably. You're probably right because I'm human. Exactly. Fuck me, was I losing my mind on?
The funny thing is, I could see you standing up. I literally was behind you. And then I said to myself, this man, if this was not a PG sport at this moment with that mic, oh my God, you're going to be hearing shit that you never heard.
Dude, I've been in, fuck me. I'm like I've been doing it since 2016. And like the fucking moments I've been in, fellas, I'm the luckiest man in the world because I love powerlifting. So for me to get flown all over the world and bear witness to like fucking like prime time Ray Williams, like squatting 1,000 Ray Williams and like the Jess Bittner, but even like going right back to the John Hack versus Brett Gibbs 2016 to like all of this shit, you know, and for me to see all this and fly all over the world and still be doing it, to answer your question, like that takes it, man. This is like, all of this is just an excuse for moments in your life. That's all this is. All this is, you know how many moments I got that I'm a part of now? Like I felt that shit when Jess was pulling against Agatha for that world championship, the biggest deadlift we'd ever seen in IPF, or fucking drug tested on a stiff bar. You know what I mean? Raw. Okay. It was fucking nuts. So, and like, I feel it. I remember being on the air, looking past the platform, I could see in the wings, and I see fucking Jess with her headphones on, pacing, and they're fucking loading the bar. And you feel this is a moment.
Yeah.
You understand? You feel it. I'm live, 1,000 people on their feet, fucking however many on the air about to listen, Eurosport, the whole fucking nine. And you're looking in the wings, and there's just someone you've known for years. And she's going, and she's head down, bobbing, and the Team Canada behind her go, let's go, yelling. And you could just see it. And they're loading the bar, and then you hear, bar is loaded. Dog, like, this is why we're here. This is why this is life, man.
It's that magic.
It's life, dog.
It's that magic.
With that Jess experience, right? It was not just the Canadian team, the Bryce and them lot saying, you got this. No, right? I was at the back of her. As soon as those headphones came off, every single nation, every single lifter that was at the back, they were rooting for Jess to get a deadlift.
Apart from one.
It's not just, I mean, even Agatha was.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't at the back. She was at the front. Remember that?
Probably Team Poland.
She was rooting, but literally, like, as soon as they said the bar is loaded, we all left the back. Like, at that time, even if we had gold and diamonds, someone would have been rich that day because everyone dropped everything. We all came at the front to watch that. So it was like, again, as you said, those are the incredible moments that you only live once, because we don't know if it's going to happen again. Even if it happened again, we don't know if it's going to happen in that magnitude. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of get where you're coming from, by the way.
You got to have, like, every now and then, just stop and appreciate your fucking moment and be like, this is a moment. In life, you only have how many days in your calendar come and go when you're at home doing your day-to-day job. But when you're at IPF World Championships, every fucking day is the wildest. I wake up and, like, I don't know who I'm going to see, where I'm going to be, what's going to happen. And the days feel so long because I'm so present. Where when I'm home doing my day job, days just fall off the fucking calendar, my friend. Like fucking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's the weekend already. When I'm at like a week can fly by. When I'm at IPF Worlds that week, is the
It's,
longest.
do you know what we say? Do you know what we say over here when it's what you're describing now? We call it a movie because that's the essence of what you're going through. It's a movie, right? And you've had loads of those. Like you're just talking about 2022 now. 2021 for you was a movie as well. How you were like just vibing with the French team. Like I've heard your podcast. I've heard the way you just gave them your credit card, trusted them, and like just did that.
Fuck.
See,
You just reminded me. Dog,
bro, that shit is unheard of. Like these are like more or less what strangers, right? And you're trusting them with something like, yo, they could have gone ham and bought themselves suits and shit as well. But
fuck, I might have. I didn't even look. I was like,
hey, exactly.
Yo, Penna looks fly as fuck lately. Huh? No, but like, here's the thing. Like, here's another beautiful thing. The people I fucking meet, like, look at like, Jaren's at Worlds, or like, like you just meet people. Look, I would never met these people. Like the French team, I just met them at Worlds, and yeah, it's funny about that. Like the banquet's coming up, and who better to buy you some drip, get some threads going than the French team, or fly as fuck. Like Penn is fly as fuck. This is the flyest motherfucker you've seen in your life. Him, Gavin. Gavin went there too, and I'm like, I need some clothes, and I trust them. You know, whatever it is, what it is. And I remember I got the package, and the note on the package was waiting for me at the hotel at the front desk, and it said, "Take a look inside. You're gonna like it." But you broke as fuck right now. I was like, I don't even want to look at it. It is what it is. I'm not even looking. They're like, it's nice, but it's probably more than you would expect. It is what it is. But it's true though. You just meet people and you're like, fuck, like it's weird. Me and Gavin just did the commentary for Worlds, like the entire junior Worlds. And at one point, met Gavin in Sweden was the first time I met him in real life. Then the Open Worlds in South Africa, PA Nats. He flew in and we did a session on PA Nats as well. And also did those like 12 days together, whatever the fucking junior Worlds. And then at one point I looked at Gavin and I'm like, in all these adventures we've been in, me and Gavin have been through some stories we can't even tell, you know what I'm saying? And
what? No, you can't.
I remember what was this? And then I remember looking at Gavin and be like, do you realize I met you not even a year ago yet? We're just closing in on a year. And like people see all these pics of me and Gavin dudded up from all the different events that we've been in and shit. Like, I'm like, all these adventures we've been in, dog, it's been a fucking year. You know, great people don't have these lifestyles. I'm just fucking grateful I'm a part of this.
No, yeah, no.
You know, that's what it said. In some people you meet, you create that relationship for a lifetime. Do you know what I mean? You probably like the relationship you have with Gavin now, you probably don't have that relationship with some of your childhood friends anymore. Do you know what I mean? That's why this sport, I think that's what it's bringing us to. Is like, for instance, I met Anna for the first time in South Africa. But at the moment, me and him, we're like brothers. Right? It can't go on without a day without messaging me, what's up? You know, I can't go and have a training and have a shit day without telling him, oh my God, I had a shit day today. My sport was trash. Even though we're all 83, but me and him don't care. We send each other our top lift. We don't give a fuck. Right? At the end of the day is if he wins, I win. If he wins, I win. If I win, he wins.
That's why you're all good.
What'd you do?
Just carry on.
It says we're recording, so we're good.
Yeah, my laptop fucked me off today. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that relationship you create is forever. You know what I mean? It's the same thing what you're saying with Gavin there. That will remain for the rest of your life.
Well, you build friendships. You build friendships, though, don't you? You build friendships. You like an example with us as well in this podcast. So me, Jurens, and Joey, like we've just started getting a little closer now because of the podcast, in all honesty. Yeah. So it's just little things like that where you just feel like a family within.
It's the Euros, isn't it? When we created that relationship.
No, honestly, it was the Euros.
Because
we've known each other for years, literally since like I think 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Right. But never
really.
It's only
recently.
Yeah. So that's why we do get it.
Well, I mean, here's another way of looking at it. All right. So you may not be as close to these people for the rest of your life, maybe. Like maybe you do, but maybe when you're 55, 65, maybe they're not still in your life, but you will always have that moment. And they'll look back and you'll look back. And when you cross paths again, you'll cross paths at some point, some reunion, something. You will always have that. And I got boys, and you guys probably do too, that if I see them now and I haven't seen them in 10 fucking years, it would be like, holy, my man. and you just start shooting the shit just like it doesn't, you had that.
Like no time has passed, like sort of
that's where like, and this is something else that I've noticed, back into the moment thing, but moments also culminate together to create an era. So in your life, you have certain eras, and that's more where I'm like, this is a fucking era right now for me. Like the people I'm meeting in a gathering, and all of a sudden I've been doing King of List for a hot minute, and powerlifting the whole nine. And even that, it's not a King of List era, because King of Lifts now has been around long enough that it's got little mini eras for me. For me, certain people recycle in, cycle out. You know, I've seen people come and go in like there's certain mini eras, and you just respect what people bring, man, and they don't last forever. So you appreciate and you look around and you just fucking, it's the biggest trip. It's like,
you know, I'm actually gonna bring you back on your King of the Lifts journey, so called. But actually, no, before I do, how does it feel right now being on the other side, considering, you know, you're on our podcast and you're the guest, when usually you're the one hosting and you're trying to like cater to your guests. Like how are you feeling about it right now?
It kind of feels the same, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah? Yeah. To me, that's a good thing, because at least that way we know you're comfortable. I'm guessing because Durance is here, you know Durance and everything. You've had him on your podcast as well. So again, that to me, that's good. I hope it's the same for everyone else here.
I can't speak for everyone else here, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's always just discussions though, right? Like you're just talking discussion. So when you keep that in mind, you'll be all right. Most people are going to be like that. It's not like, you know, when you see those political pundits like fucking that are like have I got you moments where they're like, you know, but this is like that, you know, powerlifting isn't quite as important as it's
not as political. I mean, we do try to catch our guests every now and then, but just
which we will do, by the way, Ryan. It's coming, don't worry, it's coming. We're getting
okay.
Let's go back to your King of the List sort of journey.
How did the name begin, by the way? Like, how did it start off? Like, and is it just you, or do you have like a team as well that help you out, like finding lifters and reposting and stuff, or are you in charge of absolutely everything?
No, okay. So, first off, King List is a dope ass name, right? Like,
hell yeah. it just slips out the tongue, like
it is, and even logo wise, to have the crown, it's easily on the mic, and it's easily recognizable. So you can move it around, right? You could take the crown off, put it on a mic. Take the crown off, put it on a person. Take the crown off, put it by itself. So that's really good. It's in terms of like. It maneuvers very, very well, and it's easy to play with too, right? In terms of like the king and whatever the fuck.
Bro, it's genius.
It can work very well. It can work very well. But in terms of background, like people like Kafui Hochoyame is he's from Canada. He was a Canadian 83 kilo national champ. He broke an IPF world record in 2019 with deadlifts.
It's my man. Love
that's my man. So that's my friend from like, we're literally living in the same town, known each other for years. We go on like walks together, like we hang out in person. So that's like my.
So that's why you were pissed off when Coffee was in Group B in South Africa, isn't it?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
I had to say that personal.
Oh yeah, and he was held back, man. They weren't loading up the bar for my man.
We all know
it was
that.
crazy. Every lift was like, people were messaging me because they know, and they're like, dude, when are they going to start loading the bar? Because he's going to run out of attempts. I ran back to the back and was like, all right, he's as fresh as fuck. So we're going to load the bar for his last dead, right? Because he's got a monster deadlift. We got to load that shit up. They didn't even load a PR for his last dead, let alone load it up. Like, God damn.
They did him dirty. That's all I can say. You know, there's a lot of shit underneath that, but they did him dirty. I'm sorry. Because we had to have 7. One of them dropped out. It was just easy for him to come to the Group B. Group A.
Easy.
So anyway, let's go back to King of the Lifts. Sorry about that. So yeah.
No worries. No. So and then Adrian's another dude who he was like a president of a supplement company, and he's more on that end, like a mentorship like that. But then on obviously the podcast side, 2019 linked up with a couple of the fellas, like the American team coaches was Bill McCarthy and Arian Kamesi. And then Rory Lynch was with the New Zealand. And then we started going in a group chat. We did a fucking fantasy league in a group chat or some shit with like Pete Spence from SBD and just whatever. And then started doing like the podcast. So when it comes to like as hosts, they kind of joined when it comes to previous shows recaps. But now we're kind of moving into, we're cycling in other people as well, right? Like it's not just like we've had other people come on regularly for previews and recaps and shit like that. And we're probably going to do that as well. Like if it's Europeans or a European event, let's bring in some specifically European people, because the people I just mentioned, none of us are European.
Yeah.
So you
could bring endurance.
Well, that's exactly it. Like for really real, like yes.
No, for real. I
would love to.
Yeah, bring endurance.
Yeah, no joke.
I think that's another thing that makes it different. You know, I mean, even again, as I said with King Lift, this the blueprint we were talking about earlier. That's what makes it different in terms of like, if there's Europeans, to me, right, personally, this is just my personal opinion. If there's Europeans happening here in Europe and I tune into King of the Lift, it's just you, Arian, or the gentleman from New Zealand, probably I'm going to skip it. I'm thinking like, what do you guys know about the Europeans? Although even though you know the lifters, but come on, the seasons, I'm the one that live in the full season here in Europe. Do you know what I mean? So, but if you bring that Europe, like, I think last time you brought more in. So at least I will tune in because I know there's an European there. They know how we're feeling. So do you know what I mean? That's a really good thing to do anyway.
100, like he's been there, he's there, he's like, you know, for sure, man. It's just proper representation. Just like I'm trying not to make it an all boys club neither, and try to bring girls in as well. For some of these events, these preview shows and recaps. Tori from Canada is pretty good, but we could bring in other people. Like you try your best, you know, you got your core that you like, but you gotta move outside of that and bring people in. And then for the one-on-one, like for the conversations, I usually do have Arian with me. Here's the thing, what I've noticed. If I have just me, and I've had some fucking moments with people, like I can tell you some moments on the podcast. I had Cece Ingram on, who at the time was Cece Holcomb, and she was in the untested, and she had the highest Wilks. And I usually, this is fucking going back like 2018-ish or whatever. And I remember asking her in the DMs, like, are there any questions you think I should ask you? Because you have background stories. And she said, yeah, ask me why I got into powerlifting. That's I was going to ask that anyways, but fuck it.
Basic.
Sounds good. So I asked her, so how did you get into powerlifting? When did you start strength training? And she said, when I was 13, I was held down and raped. And I swore that would never happen to me ever again. So I started lifting weights. And what he did to me was monstrous. And he created a fucking monster. And she now went untested, lifting weights a whole nine. And to say I was caught off guard. But here's the thing, that shit, if I wasn't alone, if it was 4 guys, you may not open up like that because that's far more difficult. But if it's just me and you, and you, that is the advantage of the one-on-one. And that happened. That was one of the first times I was like some serious conversations. Since then, I have had conversations where like Joe Sullivan talked about his mother was literally had cancer and they're in the US. You have to pay for cancer treatments. His dad working 3 jobs and would come home didn't have enough money to eat. So the family ate and he just didn't eat. And some days they were in fucking garbage cans looking for scraps to eat so his mother could live. And he was in such a bad scenario. He was in school and some kids came by. This is Michigan. And they were looking for this kid. Couldn't find him. Pulled a fire alarm. So the whole school had to come out. And then they shot the kid. And it's like fucking the wildest. And he's literally stopping. He's stopping telling these stories. Like, I remember my dad like not eating and him being like, he goes like the way it feels like to feel like a burden. And he's like, I got the fuck out the house way young. He's like, I started working way young because he's like, you don't know what it's like to be like, my mom's dying. And if I don't get the fuck out and stop being a burden, she could die. And my dad's working 3 jobs. I don't see him. And he's like, it's crazy. And he's stopped like tears, man. And it's like fucking the trust you have to get from people to open up to you like that. From Andy Riley coming on, talking about having eating disorders, and she breaks down and apologizes. I'm like, don't fucking apologize. Don't apologize to me. Like, somebody's going to listen to this, to Sophia Ellis from the UK coming on, and she talked about suicidal, like just like her battles with eating disorder and everything, man. For people to come on and trust you like that, like, there's a lot of podcasts out there, my man. I listen to, you know, a lot of podcasts, but there's not a lot of powerlifting podcasts where people come on and they're like, there's, maybe it's because I'm an older dude and I've dealt with this shit and the way I'll deal with it. Like Coco Clement talked about, like, I don't know if you know the Coco story, or fucking Jonathan Garcia. Man, this shit, I could go on about some of these stories. Fucking people breaking down, and it's like, maybe it's the maturity that I'm an older dude. Maybe it's because I'll hit him with the one-on-one and I'll know, or whatever it is. But the fucking trust that they must give to me, and how honored I am that they would come on and trust me with this, that I would handle it with delicacy, maturity, and respect, and not over push. But at the same time, I'll ask questions because you brought it up. So you want to talk about it. Yeah. You wouldn't bring it up if you didn't want to talk about it. And that's where,
honestly, bro, man, that is heavy, man. That was heavy.
The thing is, that's the environment you've created for people to be
able
to do
honestly,
that, right? You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you had me last time with Mo, I was expecting questions like that, and I was ready for it. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like, yes, if you ask me questions like that, I will be honest and answer questions like that, because you've created that environment for people to feel safe and talk about it. Although, don't get me wrong, I know probably there will be thousands of people that are going to listen to this, but I don't care about those 1,000 people. I only care about the person I'm seeing right in front of me. Do you know what I mean? That's giving me that environment. And you've created that. Do you know what I mean? And another thing as well with like this powerlifting shit that we're all doing, right? First of all, I always said to people, look, this is a self-funded sport. You're lucky if you're me that when you're supported by SPD, that's different. If you're not, most of the majority of people, they pay them for themselves to do the sport, right? So it means when you're doing these sports, every single individual has a story. And then sometimes that's why we're creating these platforms, for people to come and tell their stories, for us to learn from it. You know, I mean, there's a few things, like I always say, like I had an issue with a few young guys here in Britain about just these podcasts. I said to them, and I said, look, you can talk about a lifter, but be careful sometimes to talk about certain things, because you don't know that person's story. You can probably just say like, oh yeah, I guess his mom's gonna cook for him. You don't know if my mom is still alive. Yeah. You don't know the relationship I have with my mom. You don't know whether I like anyone to associate my name with my mom. So you can't talk about shit like that unless you've heard it for myself. Do you know what I mean? So all of that is kudos to you, to be honest. Is the environment you've created for those people anyway. Do you know what I mean?
I just want to add to that, actually. You know, the environment that you have, it actually, you know, it makes me reflect on obviously our platform and the platform that you've created. Is that you know, I've had people give me feedback like it's pretty rare to see like a group of hosts trying, like a group of 3 of hosts trying to make a podcast work when it's only like one guest on, and you having to have the opportunity to do the one-on-one. I think that's where we see the limitations we may have and the advantage that you have, because you get that sort of like, because it's one-to-one, it can get that deep, it can get 100%. That personal, and I honestly respect that, because how you take it in, how you absorb it, and you know, not you listen to talk as opposed to just you listen to respond back, sort of thing. If that makes sense. Like
100, it does. Like, if it's one-on-one, I'm telling you, fellas, like, and you could look at you could be as flexible as you want. For sure, one of you fellas could be like, there's someone coming on, they're comfortable with me, I'm comfortable with them, and I think their story is gonna be a little different. Let me take this one solo. And maybe you guys just be like, for the better of the product you're about to put out, the content you're about to put out. It is for sure, when you sit down with 3 people, you sit down with one person, it's like Jordan just said, where it's going to go out to thousands of people, like all over the world. It could be,
yeah.
But when you're one-on-one, at times you forget. At times you get into that and you just start, it takes time though, but it will come. But they have to trust you over time. It does help that once one person comes on and they see how you handle it, and it helps. And when it happens, it's a slow build of trust. that people come on and like, if I'm going to tell this specific story, maybe I'm going to tell Ryan, maybe I'm going to feel comfortable with this one. But you go on a different podcast and maybe yes, but maybe you might also be like, I'm not sure, man. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that you don't feel that mood, whatever, man. I get it. Sometimes it won't even be that mood with me. It's not like it's always like that, but it's happened repeatedly over the years. Look, if this shit stops right now, like if this shit stops tomorrow, I've had so many fucking conversations that changed me and how I see things and like hit me. And like, I have the video and I could double back and be, damn. And like, I'm not the same person I was when I first started a podcast, man.
Yo, can I hit you up on like just what you just what you just said there? It's like, obviously you've had loads of guests, right? You've had loads of like things you picked up on. I actually got 2 questions. I'm always curious because I feel as though we've already come to that, but I'm not going to divulge because it's you're the guest here, not us. One, was there ever a time when you recorded something, right, and you were like, "No, I'm not putting that out," right? And before you answer, because I want to give you a bit of thinking time. Second question is, have you ever had someone on, put it out, and you were like, "No, I'm not gonna ever have them back"? And if so, can you tell us who it is?
So in terms of the first question, there was a comment that was a joke, but it was a sexual joke about by a male, but a female lifter, but the context was
so off.
It was like about sexual abuse, and it was like, my man, that's not something you make a joke about. Like the lifter was sexually abused. The female was sexually abused. She was sexually abused. Yeah. And it was out there. And then when that got brought up, this is how some people react sometimes. Yeah. When they're uncomfortable, they make a joke. And I don't even think this person was trying to be that on like fucking, I don't know the word you've used, but they weren't trying like that. I think this person isn't comfortable in certain dialogues and situations. So when that got brought up, that was the knee jerk, is to make a joke. And then I, on the fly, was telling myself, okay, well, that's never going to fucking see the light of day, huh? Because like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's getting taken out. And I honestly told myself, like, this dude isn't trying to be any certain ways. I honestly think he's fucking. And here's another thing, to Jern's point. What, you don't know why he's uncomfortable with that conversation. Men get sexually abused as kids. People react, and your knee jerk will be, let's fucking throw that guy on the stake, huh? Let's fucking set him on fire. You don't know what he's dealing with, though. Yeah, that was an uncomfortable moment for him, and God knows why. And he just fucking knee jerked off the. It's difficult. Life's hard, man.
Did you ask to reshoot then?
No, I just edited that little piece out.
Oh, okay. So you didn't scrap it all together. You were like,
no,
nah,
I'll take that out. No one knows, and it's all good. Yeah. And she don't know, he don't know, he probably still don't know. Yeah, like 3 hours long. You just think, fuck it, it all went out, and it is what it is. Yeah, man, life's hard. Man, life's complicated. I don't want to fuck up anyone's life any more than it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, life is tough enough. In terms of somebody never having them back, I don't think I've had yet something where it was like, oh shit. Like I haven't had a moment where it's like, oh, I can't have this person back. I don't think off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, I don't think of a guest where they were, or like it hit the airwaves and people were like, holy shit, dude, you can't. I don't think I've had blowback like that yet. I mean, not
touch on wood, bro. Touch
on wood. I don't think so anyways. But
what about, because I know you've had guests where the language has always been a barrier. You have to bring it translator in. Is he, because I know again, that's one of the things that myself personally have got so much respect, because you trying to be inclusive and include the entire world into your platform. Is it not difficult for you to have a guest that doesn't speak English, someone has to translate, and you have to do it all over again if you invite that person? Isn't this not a guest that you're thinking, no, man, I ain't got no time for this shit?
Yo,
okay, 100%. Sorry, go ahead.
And no, I'm just adding on to what Jaren said. It's like that and the time zones, because obviously, if anyone is in your time zone, it's usually going to be in English, right? But if it's like different language, different part of the globe, it's
Dog,
definitely.
I've had one time we had when the 72 class was being abolished and it became 69s and 76s. I had all of the 72s and a couple 84s, like all the big hitters on one podcast. So we're talking like, fucking man, like, I don't know, it was like 10 women. And
Jesus.
from all over the world, though, like, I mean, from all over the world. And one of them was in Australia, Isabella von Weisenberg, to like Europe, South America, to all over the US. The amount of time zones I had and threw it out there, it was fucking like, that was the hardest, was just trying to get everybody. And then when some people couldn't make a certain timeline, it's like, or time frame, sorry, it's like, sorry, love, I guess you just I'm gonna make it, because if I keep pushing this back, okay, let's try Tuesday, and then like, who fits this? And then like, you can't get everybody in that timeline. Then you're like, all right, fuck, let's try Wednesday. It's like, all right, now you know what? It's fucking Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday. You make the cut or you don't make the cut, because we're never going to get everybody. So in that group chat, the majority could make a specific day. You fly with it. In terms of the interviews with interpreters, I don't think I'm going to do, this is as close to that as I'm going to do now, because it started getting, I ask you a question. The interpreter asks the question in Russian. And then the person says something back in Russian. Now that question could be like 2 minutes. Then the Russian talking could be 5 fucking minutes. Now we're 7 minutes of
just trying to find out.
The listener of the podcast is literally like, I'm waiting 7 fucking minutes for my answer. You can't do it. You can't do it.
For real,
I decided I'm not doing that anymore, but this is what I will do. I had like Turbo Tiff on with Penna, and I know Turbo Tiff knows enough English that she knows enough English that if I can ask her a question, she'll know what I'm saying. She might even be able to talk English back, but if she loses her words, she can tell Penna. So the back forth is cut in half and maybe even cut totally. Because there were times when I ask her the question, she don't got to look to Penna. She'll know exactly what I said. That's a huge chunk of time. And then she might even spit back to me on the fly, get caught up with a couple words. She not only is it good that it's an interpreter, but it's a friend like Penna she trusts. Now she's more comfortable. There's something that you notice is like when English is a second language, people are nervous already coming on podcasts sometimes. You are so much more nervous when English is your second language and you're not very familiar with it. It just augments it several times. I did the same thing with Jad Jacob and Noemi. Go ahead, buddy.
Bro, that's exactly how I felt. I don't know if you noticed, but I actually trained with Panna and Tiff and everyone there. And obviously, my only language is English. And they were upset at me for only knowing English and not a word of French.
Because you're lazy, mate.
No, wait. No, but listen, it got tough, okay? It got tough because I started calling out numbers in English. I got hit back with like looks of confusion. So
I started hitting PRs unintentionally.
I'm like, yo, this is what I asked for, but it got lifted. So yeah, but you know, like you were saying with Tiff, I did clock, because obviously how she was in your podcast, I did clock like when I was training there that she knows a whole lot more English than she lets out, right? Because like basically the story is I lost one of my socks, right? Everyone's shit is all over the gaff.
You lose one?
No, yeah, I lost one. I was trying to find the
Someone's fucking with you. Someone's probably fucking with you. Someone's got your sock.
And the last place I found it was next to Tiff. So I was like to Tiff, have you seen a white sock? Right? And I figured, shit, maybe she didn't understand me. But then she knew exactly what I was talking about because the way she was looking. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. She definitely knows that she lets on.
That makes it easy, isn't it? That's the question where it's like, as you explained there, because I did listen to one of your podcasts, Ryan, about you ask a question, the person interprets the question to the other one, and the question is not even the same anymore.
I know. Yeah, that also bothers me.
There is so many of your podcasts. It's nothing to do with you, right? This is not a shade on what you're doing.
Juris is talking about some of the French ones. Trust me.
You know what I mean? So because I speak French. I speak French. Yeah. So when the question goes that way and it comes back this, I'm thinking like, nah, man, Ryan did not say that at all. That's not even close to what he said. And when the answer comes back, and I'm thinking like, nigga, way. That's the
We're having two different
answer.
conversations. We have two different podcasts right now. Yeah, I mean, look, at that happened with I've had even some lifters afterwards being like, look, my English isn't 100%, so I had an interpreter, but I could kind of get what you were saying. And then when it was interpreted to me, it wasn't what I initially thought it was. Even the person will say that sometimes. Let me say something about Turbo Tiff real quick, because we're talking about Turbo Tiff and being in France. So Turbo Tiff, you see Turbo Tiff, she's like small, she's like 105 pounds, whatever, 97 kilo or 47
kilo, yeah.
And she's small and cute and like whatever. Yo, she's spicy, man. She's spicy, dogs. When I was when let me tell. So obviously she comes from a boxing background, whatever. When I was in Penna brought me into Silent Worker, and I did like work like the media there. And first off, let me just say, we get so used to being at Worlds, everyone's talking English, and now I know what it's like to, because I don't talk French. And when everyone's having a conversation and you're in that circle of people, and I'm not shy to like talk, right? Like I like talking. I'm an extrovert. I get like my energy is from that. And the conversation's going. When you don't know what other people are saying, and after a while, like, fuck me, I'm just standing here with a stupid smile on my face. And I can't jump in with shit. I don't know what you're saying. I can always, if just let me be in a room. I can jump in on any conversation. I don't even know this topic, but I'll find something and I'm in. But if you have nothing, I'm like, how long am I going to be here with a stupid smile on my face?
Hey, bro.
You know I'm saying, like, oh shit, you feel it. And now I know how some people feel like at Worlds when they don't speak English. And now I know how it feels.
Bro, I cannot relate enough, man. I don't know. These guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So, like I said, I was training with Panna and the rest of the Silent Work a lot. Out of the blue, right? Panna pops out, camera, starts speaking in French. I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's just speaking to his missus, right? Bro, he's vlogging. He's vlogging straight up. I don't know what he's chatting. And then the camera pans over to me. And I'm like, bro. Bro.
Hey, Ryan,
you've watched it.
If you go on his YouTube channel, right? On Panna's YouTube channel, in his latest post, you'll just see exactly that. So Panna's talking, the camera focuses on Joey, and Joey's like,
bro,
dog,
like
it happened to me. I just gave him a salute. I'm like, yes, sir.
Bro, that was cold. I fucking panicked, bro. I was just like doing some next shit with my hands, like doing some fucking.
So basically, bro, Joey, you're not the only.
Me so hard, like
you're not the only lazy guy here. So Ryan is lazy too. Because
I'm lazy too, dog. I used to know way more French.
In your place, living in Canada, when the country is split in two languages, you should fucking know French.
I used to when I was a kid. I learned like French immersion, but it's been so fucking long. I haven't been like had to use it ever. Talking about Turbo Tiff too, man. When I was in this is exactly, we're staying on topic with not speaking French. So when I knew she was spicy. So at Worlds, it's one thing. When she's in France, you know, you're more comfortable when everyone speaks French and shit. I seen her interactions. Yeah, man, she's got some chip on her shoulder. You could tell she's confident as fuck, right? And spicy. Bro. And then when I was talking, I forget what the situation was. We were in the warm-up room. And she might have asked me to do something or some shit. And I said something, and she was giving me some spice in French, and everybody was laughing. And I'm like, what the fuck is everybody laughing about? And they're like, and then she said something else, and they was laughing again. I'm like, then it dawned on me, oh shit, Turbo Tiff is styling on me right now in the room. Is laughing at me. Like, fuck, man. And I'm like, Turbo Tiff, she's not this cute little thing, but it's funny because like it's your friend. But it's hilarious, man. It's the whole French. When you go to France, I'm so glad I went there because like Penna there was like 150 people that crammed into this place, and they were eating up every word he said. He hits the platform. It's like fucking Elvis is in the building, and he's throwing up the heart signs, and he's let's go. The lineup afterwards for him when he closed the shop and it was done, the lineup was like forever to take pictures with Penna. Like I mean, everyone's there. Turbo Tiff, Leah Bavois, all the French shooters. France has got so many fucking shooters. Penna, dog. It was crazy because they look at Penna like Penna is like that dude who's fucking leading the charge for France.
Yeah.
Bro, and it has been.
Bro, we said that when he was on our podcast. we done said that. I mean, obviously, he took it humbles and whatever, but obviously, you know, like I got to spend time with him. He said some shit. I'm not gonna say it on the podcast because obviously,
no. What did he say?
No, because he basically made me want to like say it after Arnold's because he wants to leave it until after Arnold. So I gotta respect that.
If he said it in confidence, it's one thing. Don't burn bridges.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah.
Those bridges don't come back.
He did say he was gonna hit a 720 though, didn't he?
So 730, bro.
730.
730, bro.
He don't need 730, but he doesn't need that much to like make
basically.
it.
So what he said, he doesn't care about what the world total is for Sheffield, right? He's gonna hit 720, 730 at the Arnold's. So when he get that Sheffield wild card, he doesn't give a fuck. He makes enough money to survive. And then hopefully in the future, he's going to make more money. So he's there to lift. What about if he get in a car accident after the Arnold? Sheffield is gone. So to him, every meet he does, he's going all out. Doesn't give a fuck. So which is I respect him for that, right? I respect him for that. And I have got so much respect for Pana, literally, for what he does and what he's doing in France. To be honest, we all are impressed about it, right? No one will say that he's not. And bring him into that, will bring some controversy here. Ryan,
let's do it.
You saw the news. Bench press.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How we not covered this yet? Yeah, go.
It's fucking, first off, it's a monster. I posted and it's, so I posted, I did a podcast earlier today, and I fucking looked at the comments. It was Sean Jin from US who just won the 83 Worlds, and went back to the KOTL like post about the bench rules, and fucking, let me just take a look at this gentleman. One sec here. And yeah, I'll give my impression on it. But just to tell you how fucking crazy this is. So this is like 10 hours, 677 comments, man. And like close to 677 comments in like 10 hours, and like close to like 9,000 forwards and like 12,000 likes or whatever. Like the amount of traction on this, man, holy shit. So anyways, to talk about the bench.
No, I want to hear what you think about it first.
What you think. Let's not talk about what happened. What you think?
This is going to be what I think about it.
And who do you think is going to affect the most? Like
names.
Oh, names.
We need some names.
I would have to look at. So I don't think it's going to affect as many people when I hear, first off, the bottom of the elbow, top of the shoulder. I would have to run through the pictures, but I don't even think that hits Eddie Berglund, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to take a look. But I remember seeing a pic. I'm in some group chats and some people like, I even think his is going to change because there's actual movement. If you actually look at it, and fucking, we would have to actually bring up pictures and do this, right? Mm-hmm. And actually see. This is just off the top of my head. But I don't even think it hits Eddie Berglund. I think what it is, some people have it, and it depends on the arm length, where you can unrack and then get the command, bring your chest out and touch, and then come back down. That's actual possible. Some people can actually do that.
Bro, I've met people who can do that in front of my own two eyes, bro.
So we're talking the smallest percentage of people, though.
Yeah.
Like that's very, very small.
Yeah.
But I have to see how it rolls out and happens, because this is just my understanding, but none of us know when this thing starts getting into use, how it's actually going to be governed. And like, that's really when,
so do you think is a good decision, Ryan?
I think I'm for a bench rule change. I've already said this, right? Is it exactly? I honestly think you might even want to get more, change the rules so it doesn't just impact the people who bring their chest up, touch the bar, bring it down. But if that's all they give a shit about is just eliminating that, so that can't happen anymore, whatever.
Bro, are you pretty much saying, like, if you were, before the rules did come out and the pictures were posted, are you saying that the change should have just been like, as long as there's actual movement in the elbow joint, then it's calm?
Well, that's kind of what I think that's what they were looking to achieve, is they want an actual, maybe that's a way of wording the rule, right? Of like, there has to be movement in the elbow joint.
Yeah.
Although, how do you regulate that?
But they want to be deeper though. When you think about it, they want to be deeper because when you look at it, as you said there, not just the elbow, they don't want people to spread themselves like a starfish, like a bloody, you know what I mean, starfish on the bench press. They don't want that.
Right.
That's number one. And then the other two, and then the elbow movement as well. So when you think about it, because even when we had Gaston in, you can tell he wanted that movement. As you said, even if it's going to be 1 inch, 2 inch, 3, 4, 5, but he wanted that to happen. But when it's not happening, it's just piss taking.
Well, it's not a bench press anymore. It's literally a static hold, and you're trying to
elevate your chest.
It's literally a static hold. And so I think people were like anticipating more. What do you guys think?
I think personally, my opinion is the only person that will be able to see what they're implementing is the center ref. It's only the center ref. And me being a lifter, all I need to be mindful, my head is on a bench, my arse is on the bench. That's it. Even if the center ref give me a red, the other two ref will give me a white. That's all I need. So that's how I see it. Do you know what I mean? It can only be judged by the center ref, by these elbows. Because how would the side ref see if these elbows are actually in line?
What if they're like, and I don't know this for sure, but what if they are back looking in on an angle? If what their main, like, could you see, do you think that bar has descended, the elbow has come down, and it looks like it's in range with the top of the shoulder, the delt, and it's not just your static hold, brought your chest up, brought your chest down? Do you think that's what, like, the side people, if they position themselves,
they have to change position? They literally have to move from if they have to go chairs or whatever, they have to do what they do on the squat, because on the squat, some of the ref, what they do, if they don't have a view, they actually stand up, step aside, and they go on their knees and to check the depth. So probably that's the only way they can judge it. But if you go, I mean, I'm not here to shit on the German referees here. Next time they will get me on the platform, probably I'll get reds. If you get German referees that don't like standing up, they love sitting on the seat like queens, do you know what I mean? You're not going to get that. You know what I mean? They're not going to have the view on what we're talking about here.
What I was told, they want to also make sure this is handled properly. And there's going to be, I think they're going to have some teaching, et cetera, in terms of this new rule and how it should be judged and their expectation of judging, you know. So that's why this is what I'm saying. Like, in theory, what they're trying to achieve, I get it. And in terms of like now that here, so to double back as well, this is also now, this is on Eurosport, but they want it on more major markets, not just Eurosport's fucking massive. And in terms of what people don't get is if 8 million people see this on Eurosport or whatever the shit it is, if just a fraction of those people see it and they're like, oh shit, what is this? I kind of like this. And they see like yourself or Mo coming out to like the deadlifts. And you know, fucking when Mo was in South Africa doing his thing coming out, I was fucking amped up, like, holy shit.
It was electric, man.
It's electric. Listen to me. If you were like if you're a gym bro, gym girl, and you see this, or you see the Agatha Shitco Jess battle, and Jess is about to come down, and the announcer's losing his shit, being me, and the commentator, sorry, not announcer, and I'm like, and I'm building it, and you're like, I'm in. I knew about powerlifting, but now I see it. Now I'm gonna go online after this. That happens all the time, dog. I fucking watch TV shows and I get into the actors and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking Google the cast and just find out. Like, this happens all the time, bro.
Hell
this is
yeah,
how you
bro.
recruit. And you need a net. You cast a net 8 million people deep. And that's how you're gonna grab. You need a fraction of. And then you snag one of those people is the next Russ. Not only physically, but in terms of what he brings, social media wise, etc. Like in France, some of the people that Penn is working with now have like 2 million people on TikTok and all the fucking rest of it. And they're like, I'm dedicating my life now to powerlifting, and they're all in on the French side working. That's happening. It's happening right now.
That's again, Panna said that. Like, it's a much more, you know, better traction for the sport if you just get like, you know, someone who's an average gym goer has like hella amount of followers on like TikTok or whatever social media. It'll give so much attention to the sport. And I see where you're going with this. Like, when it's on Eurosport,
in Britain,
like, 8 million people watching it.
we have got people in Britain here, like again, of course, I'm not gonna name people here, because they have got such a big social media presence with the community and all of that stuff. As much as like some people, don't get me wrong, some people look at them thinking, oh my God, what the hell do you think they are? But to me, I say, look, I don't care whether he or she's a good lifter, as long as she's bringing that PR, you know, that those advert and she's promoting powerlifting, I don't give a fuck how much she lifts. Do you know what I mean? It's just getting the sport to the houses where we never thought our sport would get to. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I think where Ryan was trying to get at. You know, like on that end. You know, when they see someone like Mo, when they see someone like Agatha, that's like shit. I want a piece of that too, right? And then the bench comes in, and then these are
the concession. Here's another thing. Okay, so you can think if Gaston and the IPF are moving these directions and they understand, they respect the social media influencers and they understand what that's all about. They're full fucking aware that I do King of the List, right? So it's not like they're totally tone deaf to social media and shit. And there's discussion. So when they're looking at Eurosport and they're like 8 million people, and we want, you know, do you want ESPN or whatever the fucking US, North America? Do you want South America? Do you want to get to Asian markets? You know, when millions of people are going to watch, just generalize. It's not people like, I think you're making this rule just because Instagram trolls. Nah, man, this is bigger than that. This is like literally if you're casting that net.
Yeah.
You
1
need
million %.
Like, it is when you're casting a net, someone's watching, you don't want them to walk away being like, I can't do that. I'm not into that. I won't do it. When I first started powerlifting, IPF didn't have a classic. It was all equipped. I wasn't with the IPF. I was with other federation because I was legit like, I'm not into it. I'm not going to do it. I'll go elsewhere. Yes, that happens. Yes, people think that. When you see something, you make decisions. Nah, I'm not into that. And that's how easy. Or you watch it and you're like, I could do this. So these are the considerations that someone like Gaston has to have. And people think like, yo, you're just doing this for Instagram trolls? Fuck, man, it's bigger than that. We're on Eurosport. Do these people not think we get emails from Eurosport asking questions? I can tell you right now, when I'm on Eurosport, which is fucking the wildest, because in South Africa, I will not sleep, show up, and they're like, okay, well, 8 million on Eurosport. How you feeling? I'm like, let's fucking rock and roll, kid. But showbiz, baby. But so it's the wildest to go on Eurosport like that. But we're getting emails and we're getting feedback on the fly saying, Ryan, explain this. Ryan, stop saying that. You know, people aren't following what you're saying because there's 8 million people on Eurosport watching. I guarantee you Gaston's getting emails about questions like, why is this happening? Why is that not? Explain this. Can we do? For sure. And people don't understand the type of shit that Gaston probably has to deal with from like 120 or 130 plus nations all over the whole night. It's a very difficult job. It's not easy.
He did say that as well in our last podcast with him, like that he does go through a lot. He works 18 hours a day as well, and it's all like freelance. So to be fair, I don't think a lot of people actually understand how much work he puts in on a day-to-day basis. So to be fair to him, he does put a lot of work in.
I can't believe he's on your guys' podcast the next day.
You can't believe we got him before you, bro.
That's right. That's right. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yo, that's
what
even made it crazy. Go.
About the bench though, right? So obviously now they've changed the bench. Do you think it's just a matter of time that they're gonna do any changes to the sumo deadlift or extreme low bar squat?
Man.
Nah. So here's
you guys reckon, honestly?
Yeah, go.
What are your views on that, man?
The biggest moment in IPF world.
Sorry to cut you off, guys. Have you guys had another drink, by the way? Because I feel like it's just me drinking here. Like,
no.
My bottle is almost finished.
I'm just one shot,
good. Ryan's just having his water, but
well, good. I got gin in there, Playboy. Playboy. That's how it's done. All right. So the biggest moment in the IPF world is 2022. And this is not just me, but unanimously, when I had people on the podcast, was Anna's missed 385 kilo pull. The crowd was on their fucking feet. Jerns, you were there, you know. Crowd was on their feet. Everybody rushed and could not believe what they're witnessing. And all over social media, people like, holy shit, that was a moment, gentlemen. I was losing my mind. Now, there has never been a 1-inch bench press where the crowd is on their fucking feet. And everybody's coming from the back room, warm-up room, and all over. I'll be like, this is amazing. Never happened in a million years. So to your question, when people get worried about sumo, it's not going to happen because of that. As long as sumo, and people are coming on the podcast being like, that was the craziest, that's the biggest moment of IPF Worlds 2022. It's safe, dog. Me telling you that means it's safe. As long as sumo pole can achieve that, it's safe. And Eurosport and anyone who's given notes is like, they'd be like, do you want to take that moment away? Do you want it so that never happens ever again? They'd be like, fuck no. Let that kid pull, you know, or if it's a fucking sumo pole with, or sorry, a bench press with like no motion, will never happen. Like it's not the same. That's what I would tell you, man. It's not.
Ryan is going.
Happy to hear it, man.
He went all.
I'm happy to hear that.
So Espin, that's what you're using for your.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good. You're safe, man. You're safe.
Ryan, another. I mean, again, me here, I'm just asking the tough questions here. Right? I'm not talking about. I don't want the federation's opinion. I want your personal opinion. Right?
Yeah.
So. We have Sheffield coming.
Yeah.
Right? They raise wild card in Sheffield. In the men's size, I'm sure there's 5, right? There's five. No, there's all because there's there's 4 left.
Yeah.
4 space left in the men.
Well, who is the chosen? There's 5. There's 5 wild cards.
Oh, there's 5. I was thinking about Tim, but Tim hasn't competed yet. So if he does, the Commonwealth probably. So there's 5 in the men. We'll talk about the women later. There's 5 in the men, Ryan. What are your picks? Don't talk about what you did for King of the Lift. Forget about what you did for King of the Lift. Right? You went to Junior World, you witnessed South Africa, and then you've seen some of the best lifters in the world lifting after you did your podium to King of the Lift. What are your 5 and why?
Junior Worlds, I don't think swayed my mind in terms of the men's.
Whoa.
I don't think so. I didn't. Did you guys have something in Junior Worlds? Is that big?
Hey, whoa. The question's on you, bro, right now. So
all right.
You answer that first, and then ask us a question about juniors. We'll be happy more than happy to give you our opinion.
So I'm thinking you have to have Jesus Oliveras. Have to.
Yeah.
You can't have the super heavyweight champ not there. For me, that's number 1. So that's 1. We got 4 more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have liked to seen Anatoly, but that's not going to happen. And let me explain why he doesn't make my list. He can't get out of Ukraine. And if he can't get out for UK, Arnold, that was his last shot. In my estimation, you can't bank on giving it to him. And hopefully by March, things clear up, but they might not. And this is important. So unfortunately, but there is other years. So if he's not on my list,
there is the Euros in Poland. He can literally walk
too late.
to Poland.
I think it's too late though. I think that's too late. In terms of hype and all the rest of it and organizing, this is why he's not on my list. Anyways, there's a couple of people that I'm sure people are going to get pushed back. So before they even fucking gave me pushback, that's why he's not on my list. I would love for him to be there. I'm thinking, you know, depending on so I want to see Arnold UK, but if Penna hits the world record, Arnold UK, Penna, that's his ticket in my book. So let's do that. If Penna doesn't, I don't know, fucking, because, you know, but Penna, okay. Jonathan Keiko, right? Got to be Jonathan Keiko. So we're at 2 more.
Yeah.
So what do we got now? I mean, you got the 105s and 120s too.
Yeah, bro. Do you want me to give you some names, shoot some names just to help you out a little bit?
He's king of the lift, mate. You don't need that.
Oh, yes. Who am I talking to? Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, go on, bro.
He has a bank of information in that.
But Ryan, remember this year. I tried to give you a lifeline during stopped you. So whenever we meet in person and a situation comes about where you have to pick one or the other,
Oh, got you. All right, fam.
Cool.
You're building bridges.
Yeah.
I think Michael Davis probably has to be on there as well. I would like to see that. Now it's going to get tough because here's where some big concessions are coming now. Yeah. Some big considerations. Who is Jesus? Jesus Oliveras on his own. Jesus Oliveras on his own probably could put on a show. If any of these guys could put on a show on their own, he stole the show in PA Nats on his own. Fair enough. That's true, right? However, what about Ray Williams?
Ooh, see, you know
No. We said 5 names. He's given us 5 names.
Okay, but I'm gonna make it
Ray, Jesus, right? Yeah. Michael Davis, Pana, and the last one. Do you guys remember who?
Oh no, it wasn't Anatolia. Keiko.
Right? Yeah. So he gave us Keiko that came 3rd at world.
Yeah.
Michael Davis that came 2nd.
Yeah.
Right? Ray that did not compete. Right?
But you know what you're gonna get. You know what you're gonna get with Ray. You know what you're gonna get.
Pana that came 4th or 5th.
But there's a lot. You're cherry picking these guys' resumes, huh? a little bit, huh?
No, look, is that the resume? Do you know what, Ryan? Every single name you put on that list, if you ask me, even if like you get me out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, you ask me who do you want for Sheffield, I will give you the exact same names. The exact same name you gave here.
But yo, let me dive into this real quick. All right, cool.
Dive in, brother. The water's warm, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Little jacuzzi in that. But
it's a jacuzzi. Bring it.
So names that you may have missed out on, and I think is spicy, right? So instead of Keiko, Krastev.
So let's talk about this. For sure. Yeah, he took a silver, and I mean he's a phenomenal lifter. But you would take off Jonathan for him, and here is where you got to look at the entire body of work. Jonathan was the defending world champion who pulled for gold, not for silver. And this is where like it's more than just 1st and 2nd. You know, Anna was pulling for gold. It's more than just that. When you watch this, if you want to cherry pick it, you could be like, this is how it ended up. But if you were there and watched it, which I know you guys were watching, and you know, he was the defending world champion and the consensus number 193 for like the past 2 years, and had previously beaten Chance the same year. The same year had already beaten Chance. So in terms of actual bigger picture, more to the story, it's different than that. If you was just a dude walking in there, he didn't already beat Chance just 2 months earlier. He wasn't the defending world champion, wasn't the consensus 93 for the past however many years. He wasn't pulling for gold. He was just a dude walking in there who came bronze. That would be the story you gave me. That sounds like the story you just gave me. But in reality, everything I just said, doggy, he deserves another. My man went out on his shield.
I get you.
You know what?
No. I'm gonna just slap it in there. Yeah. The reason why I figured maybe, I'm not saying definitely, but maybe, right? Because again, you said we all watched it. I don't think Krastev went all out, bro. Like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my eyes deceived me.
Joey, just to build on that, do you know what I said to Chance? That Chance got a little bit annoyed at me in South Africa. I said to Chance, you are the world champion. Enjoy it. But you were not the strongest 93 in South Africa.
Yo,
what did he say to you?
He took it personal. He was like, bruv, what the fuck? I was like, bruv, we all watched it. Krastev did not go all out. My man went 9 for 9 for like some of the lifters were like IPA.
Well, here's the thing. It's difficult. I understand what you're saying. They were smooth lifts. But for some people, the drop off is more sudden than for others. Like a Penna, it's hard to gauge. He literally grinds in the warm-up room. And then for some people, and then for some people, drop off is quicker. So in terms of adding kilos onto people's totals, it can be a stitch I mean, it's all subjective. We're giving our opinions, and fuck it. This is sports talk, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, let's go. But it's tough. Obviously, that's opinion that there is no actual fact to it to be like he has 15 kilo more or whatever. He went 9 for 9 because he stayed in the pocket. But if he grinded even a third squat, the propensity, like how that's going to impact your third bench and third deadlift, you don't know. So let's say he did go up 5 kilo on that squat. Who the fuck knows how that impacted his dead? But they know, so they decided we're going at this pace. We'll end up 9 for 9, and we'll bump off some other contenders and end up at the very least silver and possibly gold. So they played it the way they did. So I'm not sure. That's a bold statement to decide. We don't know. But hey, look, you're again,
what we said is assumptions, isn't it? We're making assumptions in what we've seen. Do you know what I mean? The thing is, like in South Africa, as a British team, we were watching the 93. When Kaiko got two white light on his last bench press, I kid you not, right? You can ask every single British lifter on that room. I said to them, Kaiko is going to lose today. Everyone was like, it's only bench press, his third bench. Why are you saying that? I was like, Kaiko has never, ever got a red. This is his first ever red on any single lift. This is going to be tight. He's either going to pull for a win.
Either that, or Durance just all out jinxed him. Just jinxed him.
Literally, I sat there because the thing is, like, again, right, Ryan, you've been in the business for the sport for a very long time. We had a Russian guy that always been a Mr. Perfect.
Right.
Right? Yeah, so tell us here, when did he get beat? Is it when he got a red light?
Yeah, 2008, Mr. Perfect, never got a fucking red light at the World Championships, back-to-back, 9 for 9, all whites. And then finally it happened. And Mr. Perfect, it was against Charles Apoko, 2018. And it was like, holy shit, it happened. And as soon as it happened, he ended up losing his title. And it's like, it's tough. While Kaiko was Mr. Perfect, I started calling him Mr. Perfect. And then afterwards, he told me, Doug, you put a lot of pressure on me when you start talking like that, man, because nobody's perfect. And I tell him, I'm like, I know, I understand. Like when I'm doing the broadcast, I'm always trying to build stories, right? Like, why do I give a fuck? Otherwise, we're watching people exercise. I build stories. So when you're watching and it's Eurosport and you don't know who the fuck any of these people are, and I start saying, that's Mr. Perfect. He has not missed a lift in 3 years, defending his world title. Watch. And then I'm building it. So if he continues a streak, I'm like, oh my God, we're in the midst of a streak. Like, those guys from other sports where they have all these different batting streaks or whatever the shit. Yeah. Or if he misses, it's the same. Oh my God, Mr. Perfect has just missed a lift. Is right. Now what happens? And he can still win. And the story is like, oh my God, he faced adversity, still won. Or if he loses, it becomes a massive upset. What amazing in this sport. I'm building. There's another thing you do. Build storylines when you're telling a story. It can't fucking be, and this guy's up 15 kilo PR, and this guy's up 5 kilo. No. Everything's building. Sorry, go ahead.
Bro,
it's just the same thing when you build the story about me. I can never get my last deadlift, so I'm never gonna win the Euro. So that's what happens.
Bro. And ever since you said that, that's all we talk about with Durance.
In Britain,
every time you said this, that's all we know Durance.
The funny enough, like at the Euros on my last deadlift, right? The team coach come to me saying, remember what King of the Lift said?
Oh shit! No, he
didn't.
You
can't get your last deadlift. Prove him wrong. And I turned back. I said, yeah, but even if I prove him wrong, the other 3 guys are pulling the world record.
That's true too. They're like, I'm kind of fucked anyways. I got a moral victory.
I'm fucked anyway. Even if I pull my 220 or my 220 kilos, my 320 kilos, but these guys are going for 340, like 345. There's no way I can cover that. It was like, you better just prove King the Lift's wrong. Yeah. When I missed it, I came back. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, man. You're like, fuck me, I missed it. I just say that you got in my head right before I pulled.
Exactly.
What do you guys?
Go on.
What do you guys think about those picks? So who else would you swap?
I was gonna take in your pick on the Ray, right?
Yeah, okay, that's controversial too.
Yeah, okay, cool. Because we just had him on, it's almost as controversial, right? What about Rondell?
So the reason why I didn't throw him in the mix, obviously, I don't know his current status, etc. In terms of
okay, sorry. Okay, let me just give you what he gave us. So the situation that he had before having to go to USAPL has now been resolved. So there is that chance of him competing again in an IPF was it Federation this November, right, Jerns? Yeah. So
Jerns is like, my man, don't kill our fucking podcast.
Hey, yours is still coming out after his.
He's like,
to be fair,
talking.
the Rondell's comes out first, right? And then
okay.
Right. So we're good. We're good. So everyone should already know.
Yeah.
Everyone should.
All right.
No, I think Juris is just waved from the whiskey, so don't worry about him.
All right.
Shut up, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit touched here as well, man.
We're all feeling it. Would I throw Hunt in there? Yes, I would. I probably would consider Hunt in there.
Bro, if you heard the smoke,
I'll say this to you, right? I mean, because Rondell one's gonna come before yours. Rondell personally and specifically said, if I get to Sheffield, even Taylor Harwood will never want to come close.
Holy fuck.
No cap, bro. That's what he said, word for word.
He said, I'm not going for the 120 world record. That is pity. That's like my second attempt. Right? And he said, I'm going for 1,050 kilos total at 120.
Jesus. Wow, fuck, man. All right, now say less.
That's kilos, right? No pounds.
Yeah,
no
pounds. Kilos, bro.
But listen, who do you take out to put in Rondell?
I just said Ray. Because obviously that is a controversial pick of yours. Rondell would be almost as controversial, right? Because you have to remember, SPD is a business. They want to put in exciting fucking lifters. Yeah. So if Rondell in November, right, in the IPF whatever in Trinidad and Tobago, and he totals like something stupid like 1,000 plus, SPD would be nuts not to take him on.
To me, I'm different
from a business perspective, though. Don't you think it'll be smart for SPD to bring back Ray because of everything that happened?
Rondell said he's coming to like remove Taylor Atwood from the mountain that he's on.
No. Of course. But it's like Ray's a brand. You have to forget. Yeah. Don't forget that Ray's a brand.
Rondell's an upset, bruv.
To me, I know Ryan is looking at us thinking, "Oh my god, I'm gonna let these three fight for each other, fight here." Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna step back. To me, I think, look, I love Marco Davis. He's a brilliant lifter, but a world he did not bring the game. He did not bring it, and a lot of Americans in the world they didn't, including like Delaney. Delaney won, but he didn't bring it, right? So we still believe Tim was the strongest lifter, but he was just unlucky on the day, right? If you bring Rondell, I'll replace Marco Davis to Rondell. I will bring Ray. The reason I'll bring Ray is you cannot have Oliveras without Ray. This is the battle the entire generation has been waiting for. I'm sorry, right? Literally, don't get me wrong. The Agatha Jessica battle in South Africa was amazing. If you include Carolina next year, it's gonna blow. But
we're gonna get into that in a bit. We'll get into that in a bit.
No one will ever match the battle of Ray and Jesus. If you bring that on the platform, the 8 million people we had on the Eurosport, we're probably gonna double that.
Bro, but we're talking prime Ray. We're talking prime Ray.
I'm talking
and prime Jesus. Right?
Hang on a second. Let me crunch some numbers for you fellas right now.
Go on.
Let me pull up their two most recent performances.
Go, bro.
Let's do it right now. And I think you guys might change your mind. Well, not you guys. I think let's pull up Ray Williams. So his most recent performance in 2021, December of 2021. So it wasn't like not even a year ago. 2021, he did 1022.5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Put a pin in that, Playboy. You know what I want you to do for me? I want you to put a pin in that.
Pin in.
All right. And then the most recent performance, Jesus Oliveras, 10-20-20 or 1,022.5. They're the exact same.
Exact same.
Yes. And that is the IPF. So that was the IPF World Championships. All I'm saying is, and I know where you're going, Joey, I got you. Raising his prime. But what I would say is, if you ask me, could I sell Jesus Oliveras, 1022.5, Rhea Williams, 1022.5. Those two most recent performances. Could I sell that and say this is the biggest clash of all time? And to be 100%. The man, you have to beat the man. And this is the Titans, Clash of the Titans. Could I sell that? My friend, bet your bottom dollar you boys get the fuck out of that.
Okay,
and,
okay.
100%.
100%.
And that would fill up stadiums. You can sell a stadium for that.
It would,
if someone did a promo and had Ryan's voice in the background, that would fucking sell.
Love. SPD has me doing their promos as the voice in the background. Their last like 3-4 videos was me in the sound booth. It was me in the sound booth ripping off sound bites. So when the video comes out, it's gonna be your boy. And yeah, dog. Jeez. Of course, doggy. We're leveling up.
There we go.
We're leveling up. This is what Sheffield's all about. So let's see what happens. But if they take Ray and it's Jesus, 1022.5 versus 1022.5, there can only be one. There's only one. There's only one apex predator in the IPF, not two.
Okay.
There can't be two alpha males.
Okay. Just one point though. The stat man in me, all right. The stat man in me, right.
That's exciting.
So 1022 was done on home soil by Ray, right?
Yes, sir.
So and then 1022 was done in South Africa by Jesus. So by those stats alone, I know who'd be the heavy favorite. Would be.
Ray? No way.
That's not stats, my brother.
You
said stats.
Yo,
that's external factors. That's
you
put external factors.
The stats are the exact same. The numbers are the same.
Guys,
external factors.
They're both traveling to the UK.
If your bookie said XYZ is like injured or did this XYZ time, you know who the odds would be on, right? That's how odds work, bro.
Yeah, but you use the term stats inappropriately. That's fine. But what I'm going to say is, you're right in terms of that's fine. We're gonna move on. You're right in terms of Ray. 100%. Ray did it domestically.
This on my own podcast.
Hey,
that's getting
if I ever get onto yours, right?
But
same energy, bro. Get ready for that same energy.
Honestly, Jesus was under IPF Worlds, like international competition, international reffing, traveled internationally. We are trying to squeeze this together. Like in terms of him versus Ray, Ray's not in his prime. Ray did this domestically. We all understand this. I purposely pulled this up because I knew they're both 1022.5. What I'm trying to articulate is, if it's going to happen, I think Jern's feeling the same. It better happen now, because this window's about to close. Like all the other windows that we mentioned could stay open. Like Michael Davis ain't going nowhere. And like in terms of been waiting for this for years, like this is something that the powerlifting world has been waiting for years, and the window's about to fucking close, and they will never again will we probably be able to say they both had the exact same total in their last performance. That window's about to close. As a matter of fact, if SPD is going to pull the trigger on this, they should, and they won't, but you would hope, hey, Ray, don't compete. Just fucking leave it at 1022.5. Because if you compete again in it and that drops, we can't sell. Not as much anyways. Hey, Jesus, just fucking leave it at 1022.5, because we know you could do more. But if we leave it there, that fucking sells. Now, they're not going to reach out or whatever. But if they're powerlifting gods, you leave it there. Because like you're right, dog. Those variables are real. You know, like
Ryan, at the same time, when you said they're going to reach out, but I said this to the boys, I said this to everyone that come to the podcast when we asked the question about Sheffield. Let's not forget, SPD is not IPF. SPD is a business, right? They have a business model. They have a marketing team. Even if they have to reach out to them, because remember, Jesus and Ray, they're both SPD athletes. They're both contracted by them. It means they can get out those phone calls saying, guys, we don't want you on the platform anymore. We want you at Sheffield. Do you know what I mean? It can happen. It's possible. And when anyone comes here, anyone that will listen to this will think, oh yeah, but that's no fair. Who gives a shit? They are their business. They do whatever they want. You know what I mean? As long as they have
it's not fair. Who says it?
Because people will be like, oh yeah, but they can't be saying though. You know, athletes should be competing to see where they are. Who cares? Do you know what I mean?
I don't understand.
Even people coming up on some of the podcasts saying, oh yeah, but Ray hasn't competed for this. He hasn't competed for IPF for this. Who gives a fuck? If I want to bring my grandma to Sheffield, if I was Ben Banks, I will bring my grandma to Sheffield to compete against Jess. I don't give a shit.
The question here as well is Oliveira against Ray Williams, right? Guys, I'm gonna ask all three of you. Who have you got your money on? If you was to put money on right now, Joey.
Jesus.
Durance.
Oh God.
No, just pick, bro.
You said Jesus and I said God.
Oh.
Well played.
Smart.
Ryan. Saving the best for last.
I think. Oh, thank you, mommy. I think Jesus, but listen.
Here we don't do back. We just like the answers.
Yeah. Moving on.
No, but in terms of here's another factor we haven't talked about. Like, no, it's Jesus. It's definitely. I think it's definitely Jesus. But I think you need to. That's why it's important. This has been hype for so fucking long, and you are never going to have this again. As soon as one of them competes, everything I just told you on how I could sell it is gone. Mm-hmm. As soon as Jesus competes again and puts up his normal total, this is gone. This window is gone. Right now, you will never again have them both resting at the exact same total. And like, let's decide this. And in terms of promotion, this window's got to happen. But here's the other caveat of when you decide the wild card to Ray. Ray's been having an issue getting to the platform lately. And if you give this wild card to Ray, if he can't make it, even if you swap in a sub at the last minute, you have to, and this is for anybody. Mm-hmm. This is why I said I'm not putting Anatoly on my list.
Yeah.
Because I think if Anatoly right now, if you told me Anatoly can get out of Ukraine, it's going to happen. He's going to be at Arnold UK, whatever shit that's confirmed. Anatoly's on my list. But because you can't, even if it was like, well, what if by the time then he could get in, all of the promotion, all the videos, they're going to send crews to follow these people. All the money they're going to dump into the videos promotion.
Yeah. Bro,
you can't. And that's why with Ray, it's if you don't fucking make it and they drop all this, and then not only that, not only the money wise, not only will they dump a lot of money promotion that'll be out the window, but the time they'll spend, they could have been hyping someone else for 3 months, however long, when they finally announce it. That 3-month gap, they could have been hyping someone else. And now the hype was all behind Ray for 3 months of content. Now he's out. So when you swap someone else in, all the people feel is a loss, and you missed that. These are conversations that, like, literally, this is a podcast. We're just talking about who we'd like to see perfect world Ray shows up. But this is shit that SPD's got to talk about. Like,
definitely something to consider. Like, I can't help but like compare it to what's happening in the UFC right now. I don't know if you follow.
Yes, 100%. Literally 100.
What?
Yes.
Obviously, this is about powerlifting, but yeah, bro, the way everything had to be switched up last minute after hella long promotions, it's fucked. Like, bookies.
I'm still watching though. Is everyone still watching?
Oh yeah,
but because the same guys are still there. The problem is, we'll all still watch Sheffield as well. To your point, but,
of course, yeah.
But it is like, but we're the powerlifting nerds. We're gonna watch no matter what. But yeah, these are considerations that like we don't have to do, but behind the scenes they do. And so when it comes to fair, like you guys are saying, like some people come on and they're talking about fair. It's not fair. It's like, listen to me. When they said in terms of fair, win your fucking world championship within 95% of the world record, that's meritocracy. Enough said. Mm-hmm. Total meritocracy there. I don't give a shit who you're sponsored by, where you're from, you're in. If they do a couple things set up, but in terms of wild cards, we're dropping $1 million in a day. $1 million in a day. We need some ROI. We need some ROI. Excuse me very much.
Yeah.
So for our ROI, when we have wild cards,
all right, that's for the listeners. That's return of investment. Just
no, there you go, my man. Come on back. Thank you.
That's why they call it wild card. It has to be wild, isn't it? If you don't make it wild, there's no wild card anymore. You know what I mean?
And that's exactly what I'm saying, bro. Rondell, wild.
That's one day Rondell said. It's like you gotta make it wild.
I can't think of anyone wilder.
You know. But anyway, moving on from.
I think the last time we've had this much drama though, with like two people going at it. I think the last time we've had any drama was with the 74s, with Atwood, Ricky Cho, and the other two. I forgot the names. What were the names?
Dog, you be careful when you bring up Ricky Cho to Atwood, huh?
I honestly, to this day, I would say that's probably your best ever podcast. Best ever episode.
It was wild.
Like,
that
was absolutely crazy.
It'll never happen again.
Yeah, never.
That's what annoys me, and that's what we have to take into consideration as well. Is exactly what you said. These things we don't know when it's going to be the last time that we're going to see it. These things don't happen every single day. Right. When it does happen, we have to literally just enjoy it, experience it, enjoy the moment, because we don't know when it's going to be the last time. Because that 74 battle was probably one of the best things anyone's ever seen. I don't care what anyone has to say. It was crazy.
In UFC and boxing, so many matches could have happened, and then they're like negotiating, and they never get the deal done. Somebody loses their title, and then fuck me. Well, that match doesn't matter anymore. So we're seeing the same thing in powerlifting where we're actually having matchups. So to me and Jerns, we're both of the mindset where if you could book this now, you better do it now before that door is going to close.
Because Ray is a family man as well. Don't get me wrong. Look, I know Oliveros has got a lot of responsibility as well. By the way, we're getting him on the pod next, by the way. So all these questions, we're going to throw it to him. He has got family, he has got misses and all of that. But Ray's a married man. He has a kid. Do you know what I mean? And then having a kid myself, a young kid, I know how much it takes out of you. So all of these things that we're talking about, 100% Ray, I really believe we will never, ever going to see 100% Ray again. No, we're never going to see that again. We will see a good Ray William that will come in and probably 100% Ray right now. Personally, I expect 100% Ray to score like over 500 kilos. That's what I'm expecting. But are we ever going to see a Ray that's scoring 500 kilos? Probably not. Do you know what I mean? Because of other factors in life, right? This is the things like, if we miss this opportunity, it probably is not going to happen again. It's the same thing with Russ and Taylor. How many years have we been waiting for Taylor to go to 83 and battle Russ? It's gone. Now Russ is doing bodybuilding, dropping to 75. Even if Russ get back to 83, do you think Russ is going to have the strength? You know, I know he's a freak, like he's a different freak. He's a different human being. But are we going to see 850 or 865 Russ that we saw last time when he goes back? Probably it's not going to happen. So we just have to enjoy it. On that note, I will move us to the ladies.
Okay, yeah. Fuck, we went off,
There is, I know.
I enjoyed it, boy. Personally.
I did too. Yeah, that was a good conversation, fellas.
Yeah.
I enjoy this, fellas.
Ryan, that's the thing. When you go powerlifting nerds on the pod, we can go for 5 hours. Travel.
It is what it is.
Yeah, bro.
The ladies, one place has already been taken.
Who was it?
Right, for that lady from Asia. What's her name? I think she's from is it New Zealand or Australia? Can't remember her name. She's coached by Aaron. Your boy Aaron.
Yeah. So how many spots we got? 4?
Yeah, we got 4 left, I think.
Yeah, because one was filled.
Yeah, one was filled by. Is it Evie? I think Evie or Evie.
Evie Corrigan.
Yeah.
So we got 4 spots. Let's right off the top. I think we're probably all know that Agatha's got to be one of those, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
if she doesn't get that spot, I will literally retire. I will literally retire from powerlifting for 6 months.
But no. Can we just let's just let Ryan finish, and then we'll come up with a
and if I go crazy with the pick, you guys say what you want. But yeah, so Agatha, nobody's gonna push back Agatha. I couldn't fucking imagine a world where people watched that showdown and didn't think encore. Who the fuck watches what happened between Agatha and Jess? It doesn't say this won't sell. That's the easiest sell. That's the easiest sell.
On the ladies' side, definitely, yeah.
So there it is. Agatha. Now let's take a look at some of the other showdowns that I saw. Oh, for me, I want to see the rematch between Jacob and Joy. I half a kilo separated him. Jacob, I know she got injured at juniors, and that's too bad. But I mean, that happens. But like, whatever. She's young. She'll bounce back, and there's plenty of time by March. But for my money, in terms of showdown, I did not see her coming in the preview show. A couple of the fellas said Jacob could pull this off. And I slept on that a little bit, and I'll admit, I didn't see that kind of progress. I was fucking rattled. I knew she was good. I didn't know she was quite that good. And she's a junior still. Jacob, Joy Namani, could I sell that rematch knowing that Joy won by half a kilo? And I know Joy can go more, and she's going to be domestic. So the international travel, everything, like it's going to be easier. I got you. But could I envision Jacob has like however much time and blah, blah, blah. I think I could sell that. I think that would be an intriguing showdown.
Okay.
There's another one. How are you guys?
One more.
No, there's two more.
No, he said 4 names.
No, he said 4.
He said Jacob
Agatha.
and Agatha.
That's right.
And then he said,
there's 2 more.
I thought you put Joy in there as well.
No, Joy's already in.
Joy's in.
Oh, okay,
only said 2, Ryan. There's 2 more.
I'm saying why. Yeah, I'm saying why I'm taking my picks as I go.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry, you said Jad as well. So Joy, Jad.
No, Joy's already in because she won.
No, but you said Jad Jacob.
Yes.
So you said
Agatha and Joy, Agatha and Jacob are the only 2 I got. So
that's the 2. Yeah, there's 2 more left.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, go on. 2 left.
Yeah.
Okay. My man's trying to take some of my picks away from me.
quick maps.
Leah Bavla.
Oh
has to fucking be there. Leah Bavla has to fucking be there. Let me say something about this. Is there anybody, just like for me, where Agatha has to fucking be there? I don't know how the fuck you have this. She's easily one of the biggest stars in women's powerlifting. It's her or Jess. If it's Jess, fine, but she's number 2 in terms of the biggest stars. And in terms of resumes, 63 kilo world champion, the reigning 63 kilo world record holder, the reigning 69 kilo world record holder. When we go to Sheffield and it's based off of world records, it's her name attached to 2 different weight classes.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you have a Sheffield based off of you win by breaking world records and her name is attached to 2 of the weight classes and she's not there? You can't. Yeah. It looks silly. It would look silly. As a commentator, I'd be like, so anyways, here's Leah Babla's world record she's trying to break. And for 2 different weight classes. You know what I mean? Like you got to. So anyways.
Yes, that's 3. One more, bro. One more.
That's 1 more.
And then we get into the meat.
What's the meat? Is there? You got some exciting shit?
Yeah, of course I do, bro.
Okay. So now, do you want to see a rematch between? And I'm going to give you it, but I'm going to walk through it as well. Right? Do you want to see a rematch between Turbo Tiff and Heather? Turbo Tiff is fucking hitting numbers that for me, I would need to see Heather getting closer because Turbo Tiff is increased that spread too greatly.
Yeah.
So I would need, like Jacob Joy was super duper close. That's why I'm leaning towards that. So for myself, I'm gonna keep going up. So let's talk about the fit. And for Amanda, for me, it'll be between like Turbo Tiff and Amanda Lawrence is kind of a new rivalry. You know, who's getting like Turbo Tiff Amanda Lawrence is going to do 3 best lifters at Worlds and take that record. Turbo Tiff stopped her. That's more of a rivalry right there.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah.
Nobody I could bring to battle Amanda Lawrence in my mind's eye. 84 plus, I think we're good. I'm not going to use a wild card there. I think that's good right there. 76 we already have Agatha versus Jess. You can bring Carlina, but she's not going to have international in time. I can't do it. Not yet. And believe you need shit for next year.
Yeah.
Don't throw it all in the first year.
Yeah.
Let her build. She's not built up yet. It is what it is. So let's keep moving now. 69. So do you want your showdown? This is essentially what we're talking. Because there isn't going to be a showdown at 63 if Leah goes 63. That's not a showdown.
Yeah.
But let's just be fucking honest.
No, yeah, that's what's it called? A clean sweep.
I'm not bringing in a 63 to go head to head with Leah because there isn't someone who can go head to head with Leah. So we're really talking with everything, and it's important I fucking work this through, because again, people gonna listen and you need to fucking spoon feed people, huh?
Yeah.
So we're talking 52 and we're talking 69 in real life.
Yeah.
That's the only two ways you're going now after everything I just said.
Mm-hmm.
So are you bringing in Plun or Shizuka, who's come closer, missed the mark at Worlds, but the only one who has actually pushed Noemi is a 52, Plun or Shizuka? Or are you going in the 69 kilo class and you bring Martha Jenner to battle it out?
I know who I'd pick personally.
No, you can't bring anyone in 69 because there is already the USVI lady that won it.
Yeah.
Chandra Babs won the 69. So she's the world champion. She's coming to Sheffield.
Right. But what I'm saying is, are you bringing in someone to battle her or battle Noemi? Right. Like in my mind's eye, you're going to match up someone against Chandler, or you're going to match up someone against Noemi. That's what I'm working through.
I'd rather match up someone against Noemi, to be honest.
But who?
But Plun.
So here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say.
What about if Leah goes as a 69?
So these are some intangibles that I would have to have discussions in the back to make sure to be like, so now we have fucking variables. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's say Leah goes 63, my first picks. Okay. Because if I'm SBD, I would hammer that out. And that's a good question, Jerns. And like, if I'm SBD, I have the conversation, Leah, you going 69, you going 63. She goes, I'm going 63. All right. I'm leaning towards bringing Marta so that she battles Chandler. And I think that's closer, more competitive. And I think it'll come down to the very last deadlift. And I think Marta's better than she showed at Worlds. In fact, we already seen she's posted up a bigger total. And she ended up in a hospital, the whole fucking 9 in South Africa. So it's not just like, it's legitimate. I think her and Chandler is a phenomenal. It'll come down to the very last deadlift.
Like a matchup. Yeah.
I'll go there. And the reason why I won't go the 52s for Plun, I think the spread between Noemi and the rest of the 52s is too great. If Shizuka did her 338 like she did domestically, if she did that at Worlds, it would have been Shizuka versus Noemi, because she's the only one. But if she couldn't, and she came in like, I think she came in 4th or off the podium anyways. And like, because that happened, the spread between Noemi and everyone else, like you couldn't sell the Shizuka battle because it didn't look good at Worlds. And not enough people would have seen the French nationals, so they don't know how close it could have been. So it's selling it wise. I'm going Martha Jenner. Now, if you tell me Leah goes fucking 69 and we got Chandler versus Leah, I might still go Martha Jenner.
Ooh.
I might still play, boy.
Because I'm with you, Ryan. Because Jenner will bring a fight to Chandler, but Leah 100%. Being the 69 probably won't be no fight.
Yeah, it'll make sure there's battles head to head.
They will have a battle, but Leah.
Wait, I just want to go.
Leah is so far ahead of everybody. People don't see it. It's just crazy. You know, the thing is, right. I know she's a tremendous lifter. She's one of the best lifters we have in the IPF. Right, but would I want anyone at the moment, right? Even don't get me wrong, Ryan. Even if, like, no offense to Taylor, if they said to me to drop any weight class in for Sheffield, I would drop the 74s because there's no battle there. Right. You know,
not right now.
Taylor is coming to Sheffield just to get his freaking checks and go home.
Yeah,
literally. You know, but we want smoke, we want battles.
But he did say he's going to be chasing the 900 around just under 900. So,
doggy,
guys, come on, we want to see something like that, man. That would be fucking crazy.
Taylor took bigs, we know that. So anyway, Brian, on those picks that you said, that's now my question will follow. Do you think Turbo Tiff shoot herself in the leg in South Africa?
I think, well, I mean, she can still break the world record and like, I still think she's going to break the world record and could make some cash. Like, she make cash just doing that, but I would have held it back if I was Turbo Tiff. And I think I would have held it back. However, fuck, it's easy once you hit the platform and people are like, and I know Turbo Tiff, she's spicy, man. And she's telling herself, you're like, if you told Turbo Tiff at 21 years old and it's June, you're like, no, hold back, because next March of next year, she's going to look at you and be like, March of next year, I'm going to be a fucking monster. And this is nothing. You know what I mean? She's not confident. This is how some people ask.
But yo, the French, yeah, that's their mentality. They're like, yo, they're gonna go ham, or not even go, or not even do it at all. So
look at Penna. Look at Penna said it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for you to tell, like, you know, Tiff that, Turbo Tiff that, that's not gonna mean anything to her. And be like, fuck that. I may have gotten this. I'm gonna break it again. Yes. And then that's how she rolls.
It's look, if you're asking, like, for me, I wouldn't have gone all out. Yeah. But
that's the difference between us or yourself. No, I don't know about me yet. But yeah, that's the difference between yourself. And Tiff.
But it's true. Like, put it this way. You know the expression, make sure when you're throwing out the worst of you, you don't also throw out the best of you.
Yeah.
And what that means is, like, the same person who it's like, man, you might have fucked up, shot yourself in the foot by going all out at Worlds. Yeah, but the same person, the reason why they did that is because they're that fucking tiger. And if you try to tame a tiger, pull its teeth, pull its claws, they're not the same tiger. Sometimes Penna's the same, dog. Some of these people are the same where it's like, I got you, but I'm just not wired that way. And it'll fuck me some places, but I wouldn't even be here if I wasn't wired this way.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Sometimes you're like, it is what it is. You know, you change one thing, you change everything. So I get it. To answer the question, I wouldn't have done what she did, but fuck, it might not matter.
Because at Sheffield, the world to win best lift at Sheffield is not about IPF point or dots. It's about who breaks the world record by certain percentages, right? Taylor can smash about 5%. Amanda Lawrence can smash about 2%. But anyone that smashed the world record by more than 4% or 6% than the 5%, they win. Doesn't matter what IPF point you are, right? So what Turbo Tiff did about 426 kilos, do you think Turbo Tiff can add 5% on that in Sheffield?
Stats, man, how much is that?
That is 20 odd kilos more.
Fuck me.
Oh yeah, she can.
Fuck me.
You can.
So essentially, you're saying over or under, do I predict Turbo Tiff to be 446?
Yeah.
I think she's under. I think she's under 446. What do you guys say? I don't think she's over 446.
Turbo Tiff will break the world record. I know. This is my opinion. My opinion is Turbo Tiff can add the maximum she'll add on that world total record is between 2 to 3%. No more than 4.
Let's go around the table right now. Okay, so me and Jaron say she's under 446. Fellas, 446, over or under?
I say bang on.
Bang on.
Me too.
No, do you know? I have my reason. I have my reasonings though. I have my reasonings only because
has Joey seen something live that we haven't
seen?
Wait a minute.
With my own 2 eyes.
Yeah.
Like her training and what she's been posting. Yeah, you know, she's been lifting those lifts. But what else she's doing, I also saw, and obviously, you know, again,
she's, even though what Joey saw we didn't see, Turbo Tiff at the moment while we're talking there, she's heavier. She's like 5-6 kilos heavier than her body weight. I know the weight of 47 that she compete. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
So yeah.
What does she walk around at?
You know, that's what she's doing the Arnold. She's doing the Arnold at 42, at 52.
But a full-fledged 52 or
that's what we'll find out.
Yeah,
we'll find out how when she comes out. If she come out at the Arnold's at 50 kilos, so that 446 you're talking about, we never know.
Yeah, you don't. That's why I'm saying under. But like, look at Turbo Tiff is a monster.
She can always surprise people. So do you know what I mean?
I'm not okay. Just to like get onto Jurance's point, and obviously the point that you were making, Ryan, is that in terms of longevity, she did not do the best thing, because obviously there's 2023 Sheffield, correct, but then there's 2024, 2025, so on and so forth. If you've cashed checks at 2023, and then you know what you have to do for that 5% more, Like 2024 is a myth, bruv. A myth.
Unless she moves up in body weight, like up.
I mean, yeah, there's that too. There's that too.
Or unless,
and then just leaves the 47s in the fucking desert,
bruv. Unless SPD, because SPD got to change the rules going forward.
They can do that too.
They
can do that too. That's year one. Year two, they're like, all right, we're switching up. That was fun. Yeah. Now we're doing this. Whatever they decide.
It's going to be practically impossible to expect people to break the world record by 5% every time they come in. It's impossible. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Taylor Howard will push 830. He pushed 830. And then what? The year after, you expect him to get 5% of the 830? That's nuts. That's 40 kilos. Do you know what I mean? You know? So, yeah. I
want to bring Ryan back to what he said with, you said you want Jad in there, right?
Yeah.
So that's 357s, bro. You got Joy, Jad, and obviously the pick now already is Evie.
Right. And the reason why though, for viewership, I'm telling you, like when I'm commentating, sometimes it's tough, sometimes it's easy. It's never easier, and the excitement is legitimate, is when it's actually an athletic close performance and I don't know who's going to win. When I'm watching any sport, UFC, MMA, look at fucking, it was going to be Chimaev versus Nate Diaz, and I'm like, Chimaev's going to smoke Nate Diaz, and this is, I don't give a fuck.
But you know what Chimaev did though? He did that on purpose, bro. I don't give a flying fuck.
All right, let's stay on topic. Hang on. Let's stay on powerlifting for a minute.
Yeah, I know.
But I got you, Finn. But so in terms of like the reason why you're hyped is if it's close and I don't fucking know who's gonna win, you'll have fans argue and UK, France are powerhouses of powerlifting, so there's a huge support for both. So in terms of like viewership, the UK fans will tune in, and France, which is turned into a powerlifting nation, will turn in, and that will sell in their previous clash.
Okay, boom. Wait,
go ahead.
That's your three, right? Who's your third, second, first?
In the row of like ladies. Who has to go in?
No. As in like
with the 5 ladies we have.
No. I'm talking about the 57s he just mentioned.
Oh, who wins?
Yeah, who wins and who just gets shy of the win and who's dead last.
I mean, dead last at Sheffield though. Let's put you word it so.
Who
comes in fucking?
My man. Questions there,
don't bro. Use those words for me. I didn't say that. You said that. Yeah, fuck. This is a little far out. Usually, we're gonna do preview shows fucking 8 months out, but let's do this.
No, I'm asking. Oh, I'll give you a little background because Joy's coach is my coach.
So you're just interested in the 57 because Joy's your teammate.
Bro, I'm gonna clap at him about the 76s because Carlina and that. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We've been on this thing for 2 hours already. But
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. All right. I want to know his picks for the 57s. Who's gonna take it? Who's gonna be shy of it? And who's?
Here's my picks right now.
Yeah, go on.
Fuck, this is gonna be a good one. I'll go with Chad Jacob.
Ooh!
I'll go with Chad Jacob. I'm going upset.
Okay.
But you 100% could convince me. If Joy won, I wouldn't be shocked. And I don't think it's I think Joy's the favorite.
Bro.
Joy is the favorite.
I just want your picks, bro. I just want your picks for now. So you're saying Shad and then what? Joy?
Joy, yeah.
And then,
sure.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, now we can move on. We can move on to the 76s. So you said Agatha, right?
Yeah.
The rematch between Jess.
100%.
But we had Carlina, right? Like not too long ago. And I'm pretty sure Durance remembers this. Okay, it may be too late for Carlina to get picked, right? It may be too late. But she can still do what a dog would do in her situation. And that is
this is fucking funny.
And that is to push records, right? At the Commonwealth, which is still international. Records can be broken there. So can you imagine, Jess, Agatha fighting and not winning a single money from a money meet?
Okay, because hold on. You put that question wrong, right? Ryan, straight facts. Carlina came to the pod. She specifically said, she's doing the Commonwealth to shit on Jess and Jessica if she doesn't get picked for the Sheffield. She will push those world records so far out that they were never going to reach it except bench.
Oh, shit. Including deadlift?
Bro, yes. So she's saying squat, total, and deadlift, bro.
This is what she said, right? The girl said she has about 230 squat in her. All right? The deadlift, we're talking about north 260 in her. And the world record, we're talking about over 600 total.
Right. What? Agatha what's got 585? Just got 585.
Yeah.
You saw what Carlino got at the Nats?
590. 590 pulled for 6.
Yeah. If she said the only thing she's lacking there is a bench press, which is she give it to Agatha, he will get it. So that's why it is.
Okay, so here's what it is. This is an opportunity for Carlina to, even though she won't make it to Sheffield because she hasn't had, done international yet. She's like 2023. She's got tons of opportunity to make it to World Sheffield and all the fucking rest. She's gonna make it.
Yeah.
But not yet. She got a late start. However, even though she's not there physically, if those are her records, she's there. She's there.
Yeah.
She's there.
Yeah.
Her name can't not be mentioned. Yeah. And everybody knows. So it will be a way of her being like, gotcha, I'm not there. I didn't make it there in time, whatever. I'll be there next time. But I'm fucking there. I'm the one you're chasing. I'm the one that you have to fucking chase now. It's my name attached to those records.
She basically said, that she's going to live in Jess and Agatha's mind in Sheffield. Rent free. Fucking free, bro. Because that's all.
What did she literally say? Not basically.
No. That I'm just like putting it into simpler words for you, innit?
I got you. Sound bites. I got you. I know all about sound bites.
Hey, so
I'm with you. I'm gobbling them up right now.
She's as real as you can get, right? She came in, she said she does respect these girls. She enjoyed watching the fight in South Africa. But when I asked her a question, how did you feel though about missing South Africa? Because she missed South Africa but a little bit because of them joining back to IPF. She said, after watching the fight, I said to myself, I could have won.
Bro, she didn't say that. Like, she said she could have smoked them.
She said one, no smoke.
Oh wait, no. Okay, maybe I heard it, and then that's what my brain interpreted.
She's gonna listen to this podcast and be, hey man.
She's as real as you can get, and we know she's a powerhouse. We know she's a force, right? Yeah, and then another thing as well is that one of the things she said, Agatha is young. Agatha is still making progress, and Jess is just a freak of a nature. Right? I know a lot of people, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people out there in the powerlifting world that are saying, oh yeah, Agatha going to make more progress than Jess, right? When it comes to next year, even when we asked Agatha the question, you were cheering Jess to pull the 261 kilos a world, right? If it is anyone else, would you do that? She literally said, yeah, I cheer her because she had to win this year because I know next year I'm going to win. And the year after I'm going to win as well.
Shit, really?
For real, bro.
For real. Literally. So I love that because this is where the competitiveness in this sport, we need that, right? The reality is a lot of people saying, oh yeah, Jess, Agatha's going to make more progress. But Jess is just a freak. Who would have known Jess was going to go and pull 261 kilos?
Right. We can refer to age too much at times. And I know what you mean, like where you could look at Agatha, if she's this young, what will she be next year after that? And Jess's progress can't keep up. But then on the flip side, you're like, well, Taylor Atwood in his 30s is when he made most of his progress. The hugest chunk of his progress was like 32, 3, like it becomes, so you're right. Like to the point of Jess is a freak and it would be, she's still in her 20s too. It's not like she's like at the end of her career. It's tough, man. The 76 is crazy competitive. When you look at Carlina, Agatha, Jess, and now throw in like Laura from France, Motelin did not get Motela, or however.
I saw what people said about that on when you said, you know.
What's that? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but there were people were saying shit like, yo, like she has every like chance to beat XYZ Carlina, Jess and that, because she only got 6 out of 9 or something like that. So if she went all out, I mean, she would have come close, if not beat them.
No. Okay. So yeah. And that's where I was like, she's missing lifts though, like for a reason.
Yeah.
People miss lifts for a reason. That's like, I can make all my openers like my thirds, miss the fuck out of some crazy second and thirds, and then be like, well, just give those to me anyways, and let's just pretend my total's fucking 850 kilos. Like it doesn't work like that in real life.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. But what I would say is she does have potential. Like she did 555, but I've seen her in the gym do 570. Jim, take it with a grain of salt. But
yeah, of course.
Potentially as a junior to hit a 570, she's strong as fuck. She's behind those girls. There's Jess, Agatha, Carlina. Let me get my hand in view. There's Jess, Agatha, Carlina. There's the big three.
Yeah.
But the number 4 is good enough that by the time we get the worlds again, if somebody fucks up, gets pushed too far. Here's the thing: when there's so many people so close, you push because you got to push. Somebody's gonna fucking miss. Someone will miss their third squat. Someone will miss their third dead. Someone will your Kaiko pulling is.
Yeah, I was gonna say the 93.
Out on your shield. Out on your shield. I didn't come here for silver. I came here for gold. Jess loads for gold. Jess doesn't load for silver. When people push like that, the number 4 can make it onto the platform. Yeah. And Laura is necessary. She's necessary in the 76s. Her being from France makes it better because again, it brings in that market.
Yeah, that story.
What you just said, and I'm a living proof, mate. In South Africa, I'm a living proof. Is it? When people were talking about the Battle of 83, no one mentioned a old man like me that I will be there. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it was Tim and Delaney. But at the end of the day, on that podium, some people even thought that Tim was not around. They thought that he didn't come, but he was there, but just behind. But anyway, so all I'm saying, like in sports, things like that can happen.
100%.
When the top push, the 5th, 4th, whatever, that's where they get a chance.
100%.
I think this happened with cross type with Kaiko, isn't it? Personally, I mean, this one hasn't been spoken for many podcasts. They haven't said this. Kaiko last pull, he didn't need that. Whatever they put on that bar, that's not what Kaiko needed to win. He did not need that. He needed less than that.
Yeah, because Chance pulled, I can't remember all the numbers, but Chance missed his last deadlift. So you know that it was going to be less. It's I can't remember. I crunched numbers at one point. But
I think he needed, they pulled like, I think, was it 12 or 15 kilo up?
Yeah.
He did not need that. He needed like something like
but Chance was going to pull.
Kilo.
But Chance was going to pull after him. Yeah, if they want to nudge past Chance. But
we all knew Chance did not have that last deadlift. Come on.
What was it now? Let's pull it up because I can't remember totally. You might be right. I'm not saying wrong. I don't remember
because I remember me catching you up in the banquet in the bar. I told you like I just pissed off about what they put on Kaiko's bar in the last one. Because apparently Joey was in America, isn't it? Was on the phone saying, "Oh yeah, slap this on the bar." But sometime, by the way, if you didn't know, Joey here, my Joey here, that Joey there is my coach, right? But when I compete internationally, sometimes he tells me do this. I was like, "Fuck off, man! You're not here." Do you know what I mean?
So to the point of Kaiko and Chance, this is all right. And like obviously Chance missed, but Chance hit 383 at PA Nats and he pulled 383.5 at Worlds. Now I know the 383 at Nats was sketchy, and the 383
that was no, that was not sketchy. That was a PA referees. That was not IPF with board referees.
But okay, go.
No. Let's
okay. So what I was gonna say is all I'm gonna say is it's not the craziest if to think if you hit 383 sketchy 6 weeks later 383 0.5, the same thing, not sketchy, could happen. If like, all I'm saying is in terms of, I got you, 2020 hindsight, he missed. So obviously they didn't need that much. But when you have to pull first, if you're telling yourself, fuck, we got 6 seconds here, could he pull 383 legit this time? Because we know he pulled it sketchy 6-8 weeks later. Is he stronger now? I think he is stronger now. And you're like, fuck, I don't know, fuck it. Load. You know, it's one of those, it's fucking tough.
But he's not at home though. He's in South Africa.
I know.
26 hours flight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he still would hit. Some people were hitting PRs. Like Jess came from Canada further west. And so it's further, and she hit the biggest pull we've ever seen in the world of IPF history in the women's side. And she came from Canada.
That's one person that did it. That pulled PRs.
I mean, it happened. What I'm saying is, when you got 60 seconds, you're like, fuck, man, it's tough, man. Look what Enna almost did. It's tough. It's tough. You're right. Like we know it was, he didn't need as much. I'm just saying it isn't enough to be like, put it this way. I don't think it was negligent. I wouldn't look at any coaching staff and be like, you guys made a negligent decision. I would say you ended up making the wrong one, obviously, because he missed, Chance missed, and then fucking Chance won because of that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't egregious where it's like, how the fuck? You could see where they'd be like, man,
but
it's tough. Sports is tough. It's so tough.
It is tough, but that's when your handlers need to come in clutch, bro. Because when the numbers are there and they're staring at you, like I know easier said than done, but go for the obvious. Go for the obvious. Like if you only need this much to win, fuck it, slap it in.
Even if
I'm talking about in Kaiko's sense.
Yeah, even if they reduce it for Kaiko to hit his third, right?
Yeah,
Kaiko would have come second.
Yo. I mean,
If he hit his third,
Chance was pulling after, because Chance is pulling after him, so you don't know what the number is, though. Like that number you're saying he needs for sure. Chance is pulling after, and we know Chance misses third, right? So like we know, but we wouldn't have known at the time
that Chance would have missed.
Yeah, and Chance, this is what I'm saying is like,
yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's fucking tough. Look, we're doing sports debate. This is what we're supposed to do. Like, I hope nobody takes offense when they listen to this, because fuck it, this is what you do. You debate.
I mean,
sports.
if they do, by all means, come on the podcast, say your piece.
My man's already booking.
I like it.
Come on.
My man's already booking.
So, Brian, I'm going to move you to another controversial discussion that's been going on in the powerlifting world. The reason I chose you is because you are the voice of powerlifting. What I mean voice of powerlifting, untested and tested. Sure. The real powerlifting, which is the IPF, and the other powerlifting that we don't talk about. So you are the voice of all.
Sure. Right? Yeah.
So USAPL, world records, USAPL Korea, USAPL Australia. Probably we're going to have USAPL UK and USAPL the Congo is coming soon. So what's your take on it?
My man, you know, if I was a part of the USAPL, I'd be like, drop the international expansion, because it ain't fucking, that ain't it. That ain't it, fellas. You are not going to be, you can flourish inside the US and do your damn thing inside the US, because you already got whatever the membership is, 20,000 strong. Use that. But to go international and try to compete like that, as though you're going to compete with the IPF, the infrastructure in place for the IPF internationally is fucking cannot be even remotely come close. And to pretend like we've gone international, kind of, it's more kind of, just guest lifters would have been, just do guest lifters if you can, do whatever the fuck, but to try to get a foothold throughout the world, in turn, the resources you're applying to do your international, apply them to do domestic, and just do the ideas that are domestic. You are not going to be the next IPF. The IPF now, because of their affiliation with WADA, IOC, is got government funding, like France. There's so many different places that's government funded. They're in the university games. They're getting into the Asian games. Like, I don't mean Asian powerlifting championships. I mean straight up with track and field in those sports. Like this is the legitimacy they're entering into, and like talks with Commonwealth Games, etc. The actual games, you know, World Games. These are actual multi-sport events. When that happens, that now all of a sudden governments have university programs in these nations and they're getting funded, and national teams are getting funded and shit like that. You can't fuck with that. That infrastructure is in place. You can't even enter that nation now because you're going to be an also ran. The government's going to be like, we're good. We're set. We're all good here. Thanks.
Yeah,
you can open up your little federation or whatever the shit. It's affiliation. It's not a federation anymore. It's a association. It's a, you guys can associate together, but you're not a federation. You won't be recognized. It's not going to be like that. You can do that if you want, just to be able to say we're international, but that's all you're doing. You're wasting time and resources, and fuck it. If that's what you guys want to do it. But I don't think it's a good idea. But fuck it, whatever they want to do, they can do it. But like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
So, you know what? Yeah. No, I was gonna say I can't dispute that. I wholeheartedly agree. But since we're on USAPL, let's talk about the lay of the land, shall we?
Did you see that post today, though? Did you see?
Yeah.
Very smart. Good marketing. 10 out of 10. So as soon as the IPF posted the bench rules, USAPL then made a post saying, "Are you interested in powerlifting and joining with the USAPL?" And then they posted like a long paragraph of why people should join the USAPL. Very smart, in all honesty. Like, good marketing, man.
You should keep that in the chamber and wait. Yeah. And see if it disrupts. Here's the thing, man. In terms of how that's going to play out, people already in powerlifting in the US, it's got to be in the US, because if you're elsewhere in the world, you're probably going IPF, unless you're untested. People already in powerlifting might make decisions, but long term, when you just enter into this, you'll be like, which Fed am I choosing? You'll see some crazy arches, and it'll be the same thing with I was when it came to equipped. And you're like, which Fed has some regulations on those arches? Even if you don't understand what the fuck the rules are, you think they're going to do anything or whatever, you're like, well, this federation's trying to hack down on those arches. That'll help for new people. Like in 5 years' time, it'll be different for right now too. Who knows the impact in the future? We don't know. So
yeah, for real, bro. I mean, who looks at a bench press and be like, I want to arch like that? Hell no.
Nobody entering a sport will. Nobody entering a sport. Day oneers, when you're like, I'm interested in a strength sport, nobody enters being like, you got two Feds to choose from. This Fed, unadulterated bench, you could do that shit, and you see that. Or this Fed is hacking down on those. You're going to choose Fed number 2. Every single person entering, I can't envision a single person entering a sport brand new saying, I want to go to the federation where the benches look like that. If they're given the choice, they will choose option B. The only people that are going to go option A are the people already in, maybe, who have already, got those arches or whatever the shit.
Yeah.
But long-term is different than short-term. And that's the discussion as well that you have to keep in mind.
I got a straight question to you, because I know you are friends with all powerlifters around the world, right? This is a straight question I'm asking, Ryan. What do you rate, the tested or untested?
In terms of what do you mean?
When we said strength sports, what do you rate the most? The tested guys, which is we are as free, don't know about you much, or
or
the untested guys?
So if I was looking at this, honestly, I think the talent pool in the tested is much bigger. And I think that's pretty much common, undeniable. And if either of you guys disagree, go ahead, feel free.
I'm not asking about talent, Ryan. You're skipping my question.
But I gotta articulate. My man, you see when I make my picks, when I articulate, I make it tight as fuck. So if someone's gonna debate it, it's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough. So I was not even close to wrap it up. So that's how my answer. So,
I mean, when we get to your answer, it's going to speak volume, isn't it? So if you choose untested,
no, I got one
question mark.
Can you imagine? No, but listen. So it all stems off of, I believe the talent pool is much, much bigger in the tested worldwide, or if you just want to go US or whatever the fuck, much bigger than the untested, the amount of participation rates. And due to that, when we're talking about any kind of competition, if you're looking for head-to-head matchups, that's what you need. In order, how many times can you have an Agatha Shitko versus Jessica Bittner, or any of the field where it's top 5 could fucking win this? You aren't going to have that unless you have the talent pool worldwide. You need that in order to have enough outliers. This is a game of outliers. It's a game of outliers. You don't have enough outliers in the untested to have that. That's why, yes, we have a Taylor Atwood and we can't seem to find someone for them. Okay, you got a John Hack and you can't seem to find someone for him. So let's throw those two off. Fine. But there's too many times, if you look at the untested, there isn't stacked 1 through 5. Don't know who the fuck's gonna, and there's representation from all over the world. And it's, look at the worlds, whether it was Jad Jacob, Joey Namani, or whether it's whatever the fuck showdown, the 69s, the 76s too. They need the talent pool. The talent pool isn't quite there. And just by nature, you're not going to have people who are willing to do what it takes to rise to the top and untested in terms of the use of PEDs. By nature, to have en masse 150,000 people on that many PEDs to find enough outliers to stack a world-class top 5 to battle like that, just by nature, it'll be easier to find people who are like, I'm into powerlifting, but I'm not going all in like that. So that's where, if I'm leaning towards one or the other, and I'm like, to your question, it would be the tested, because it's going to be a representation globally, more people, and it'll be, I think it'll be far more stacked. And that's not to say fucking obviously untested's going to have some battles, but yeah.
Not as stacked as tested. But I got a question for you from what you just said.
What did you just say?
What?
Not as stacked as they are.
Yeah, not as stacked as
okay.
tested. Yeah. Oh, so you made me question myself there. Like, what did I say? Oh, that is shit. No, because you've done me already, but I don't want to get done again. So my question is, if you could bring back one lifter from untested to go back to tested, which lifter would it be?
That's the obvious one, isn't it?
Has to be John Hack.
Is it though? Is it?
It has to be.
It's Hack. It's Hack. Playboy, please. It's Hack. It's got to be
100%.
It is a god.
100%.
It's got to be Hack.
He's got to be.
Who you going, man? Who you thinking, Joy?
Yeah, who are you thinking?
Hey, the question here is to Ryan, bro, not to me.
Well, put it this way.
No, because you were asking.
But you probably were wondering if I came up with something else. But honestly, I mean, it's got to be Hack. Like Belkin was in the tested as well at one point, and like, I mean, fucking, it's not gonna be Belkin. No, it's got to be Hack, because like, he's an IPF world champion, and can you fucking imagine if the What If? I remember they had those comic books, What If, and fucking there's an alternate universe.
On Marvel,
yeah. Well, what if John Hack never left the IPF? What if 2016 he stayed, and right now he stayed, and we had Hack versus Gibbs 2-3. Then we had Hack, Gibbs, Russ.
Yeah.
We would never gonna have Russ and Hack, because there's only one American that can come.
Well, there could be 2 sometimes, but you might be right. Sometimes they'll have 283s.
Do you know, this is what I said to you.
I mean, there's PA and USVI.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying, bro? Come on.
Man.
You got me there, because one thing I was saying to the 83 in America, they have got Sean, they have got Delaney, they have got Angelo and Russ. I said to Delaney in South Africa, I said, unfortunately, I can only battle one.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not worried. If you bring all the 5 of you, then I'll be thinking, oh shit, I'm going to be like 5th or 7th in the world, man. Damn. But because you guys can only bring one, I'm not worried.
What do you guys feel about USVI? Do you like the fact that that's opened up, or do you think it's unfair, or what are your thoughts on that?
When I saw that, I hit up Durant straight away. I was like, yo, do we have UK VI?
Yeah, we can compete. We can compete for one of them as well. I think, what was it? I can't remember the island name. I really can't remember.
Because dog, there's got to be a British somewhere.
British. We have a British.
It's just a loophole, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, exactly. So Espin.
It's a clever
next
loophole.
year, isn't it?
No.
But talking about USVI,
no comment.
Right? Personally, that's why I grew in South Africa, by the way, because I drove from Johannesburg to Sun City. I didn't wait for that coach because every story I was hearing about that coach, I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna hire a car.
That's not what he told me, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. I had a car to drive, right? I saw Gavin and Mike T. That's when literally I met them. They were going to the venue the day Gavin was lifting. I was like, hang on, if I give Gavin a lift, Gavin might get there on time and beat the British guys. If I leave Gavin might be late and miss weight. So that means the British guys go 2 step up. I walked 3 steps forward. I feel like, nah, man. You know, the powerlifting nerd in me, I was like, nah, man, I want to see Gavin do well. I went back. I said, mate, you want to lift? I was like, yeah, man. I was like, come in.
You know and then you poisoned his food.
So the thing to cut my story short is the respect I have for that boy. The fact that he went USVI. When the opportunity happened for everybody to go back to America, he said, no, what they've done for me and everything they did when I needed them, they were there. That's why I respect him that much. You know, I'm not saying I respect the Oliveras and the rest. Gavin showed that commitment, how important it was of them. Because to me, right, when they all switched back, I'm not going to lie to you, Ryan, I was literally like, what the fuck is this? Someone opened the door for you, and as soon as your door opened, you just literally tell them to fuck off. That's what these boys done. That's my personal view. What do you think?
In terms of which route to go, it's I obviously same in terms of respect. Gavin's, you guys brought me in, so I'll stick with you. But on the flip side, it depends on the conversation between. Like if you talk to the USVI people and they said, come to us, give us a year or whatever the agreement is. If you fulfill that, and then if the conversation is, listen to me, I understand the dream of going to the world championships with your country across the chest, it's okay. It all depends on the conversation. Or if it wasn't like that, if it was like, you know what, we kind of were under the impression you'd stick around. We kind of were under the impression we'd have you one more year. I don't know what those conversations were. I'm okay with if both parties had that conversation of, if you want to go home, I know when you were a fucking kid dreaming about sports, it was, and you're thinking about the Olympics or whatever the fuck, it was USA across the chest and hearing your anthem. Mm-hmm. That's big. For some people, it's really big. And if USVI, sorry, go ahead.
No, like you said, like patriotism is big in America, man. Like
well,
you can't deny.
Dream, like well, in America too, but
I would say this on that though. That mean on the live stream when Ryan, you grab the mic, when you go on and say, for instance, you said this before the E3s at South Africa, right? You know how much I listen to you when you're talking. You said the E3, it used to be Gibbs Russ 2018, and basically you said the US has been dominant in the E3 until 2021, right? But you forgetting Russ in 2021, he was no US.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He's American though. Yeah, but he's not. He's
US.
He's US. He's US.
VI.
Yeah.
You got me there. I'll give you that. You got me there.
Yeah.
But do you know the thing? That's the thing is that I sit there. That's where I'm coming from. I said, I know they have got loyalty to the country and all of that stuff. But if you've given USVI, because they, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying USVI is not a big nation. They have got great people, great lifters coming up. But these boys moving today in 2021, they put USVI on the map. You know, I know Kimball has been doing an amazing job with USVI, but having these boys there, the whole world had their eyes on USVI, which is not even a cap. It's not even a joke, right? So in 2022, this year, pretty much some people, especially where I'm from, they were waiting to see those lifted from USVI, but none of them turned up except Gavin.
And I get it. And I do respect where Gavin's like, I think I owe this much. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it depends on how USVI. I'm not sure what the conversations were. If they were like, that's all we need. Just give us 1 year. What you get is going to Worlds. What we get is a phenomenal world team. And possibly now we can market that too if we're getting any sponsorships or whatever the shit. And they're like, and then we're good. If this opens up for you the next year, you guys can move on.
Yeah.
That's okay. But like, it depends on, I'm not sure. Or if USVI was like, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if I was in those shoes and they were like, and they told me, we're good after this, man. You live for our team. You win gold. We get a gold. You get a gold. And then we shake hands. And that was that. That was a special year. But you don't have to keep coming back. If you told me that, I might be like, if you're happy, I'm happy. And I'm going back to Canada. You know, if we're happy.
Like, honestly, it sounds like a very happy one-night stand.
It could be a one-night stand. This is what I'm saying.
That's legit. That's legit how you made it sound, bro.
It might be. It might be like, are we good?
It's a mutual. Yeah.
It might be tapped up. We both. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Hey, listen. We're gonna try and cap it with the last question. So that's all right with you.
Dog, as long as you want, guys. Dude, let me say something, fellas. This is a good fucking podcast. You guys are good guys. You know how to do a podcast. You guys are doing a very good job. And fucking, I would love to come back. Hats off to you,
bro.
Don't worry,
hats off to you guys.
This is your second home, mate. This is your second home.
Dude,
second home in Europe.
If you got pissed off of listening to Ari and you don't want to hear them, you don't want to see their face
hey, let's do it.
Your second home, bro.
Fucking do it.
Yeah, I'll let Alex and Juris go for the last questions first.
I'll go for I'll go to you last one, right? Number one is we were in South Africa, right? You were there from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Was it there a lifter that no Canadian, because I know you're gonna say Jess. No Canadian. Outside Canada. Was there a lifter that came to the world stage? It doesn't matter if the lifter won or did not win, or even they came second, it doesn't matter. A lifter that lifted out with a world championship in South Africa that you went like, fuck, where was this guy? Fuck, this guy's brought it in. Even though they didn't win or even though they won, but they brought it in. That impressed you and you enjoy watching.
Very few times in sports, and this will happen every now and then, you will see something happen and it makes you question what's possible. When Usain Bolt first came onto the scene in the Olympics, after he won, everybody's like, how fucking much faster could it be? How much more? And it literally, it opens up the entire, people win all the fucking time. Do you understand? But that will change. It opens up your frame of mind. How much more? Where's the limit? We don't know the limit now. We thought shades of a second, he's fucking shaving that down even further. What Enaharo did in the 83s,
I fucking knew it,
was one moment where I, for real, was like, this is the craziest thing I'm watching right now. How it made me rethink what humans are capable of. And that's very difficult with everything I've seen in so many sessions. But that is one magical moment where for one moment, I'm like, fucking, we don't know the limitations. It made me rethink that. And it was a fucking special moment. And it was the most special moment due to that outside of Jess. And yeah, so that would be it, man. And like, I knew he was good, but fuck, man. Anyone was saying, yeah, I would have guessed he pulled 385, lock it out. I'll be like, why? You would have guessed that? Okay.
I made a joke when I saw Bryce, the Canadian, when I said, Anna, you even pulled more than Bryce today. Bryce looked at me naughty. Bryce looked at me and was like, oh shit, it actually did. I was like, of course it did. He almost looked at you.
Chance was like, fuck me, he's gonna outpull me. Chance was like, I'm gonna get out fucking pulled by this guy, and I'm the deadlift demon. It's crazy.
Yeah, my second one, and thanks for that. I mean, I think we all enjoyed it, right? And at the Euro, by the way, he's loading 399. And then, have you seen his 370 today?
I've been doing podcasts all day. No, man, I gotta go see it.
That
it
shit
moves so fucking good.
Shit, I gotta repost it. Okay,
so good.
Anyway, So my last question is about the juniors. You tapped it in the beginning, but you didn't literally elaborate. You was in Turkey. You said the juniors, kind of like in the words, like the junior did not really impress you.
Whoa, easy. Let me stop you there. No, what I said was in context. Oh, Playboy, I'm glad you said it now. And not the next episode, I'm not here. So I can't. I'm like, fuck, Jared's fuck me. No, what I said was in context, we were talking about Sheffield at the time. And you thought, did juniors change anything for Sheffield or my opinions on who should go? And I thought there was nothing that happened at juniors that would impact whom I'm going to pick for Sheffield. That was the actual, in terms of, so that's what that was.
I respect you for remembering the context.
You know what? You're
Doggy, I'm good with talking.
You're such a good. That's right. You can't get caught. Anyway,
it's tough. I get caught slipping, but it's tough. Okay, so in terms of so what was the question now?
The question is still in the juniors, right? You were at the junior championship, and you've been in so many powerlifting comp, and you've seen so many juniors, right? In terms of like a competition wise. So what's the difference between any other international junior you've seen and what happened in Turkey? Because personally, if you ask me what happened in Turkey, the total did not impress me. Single lift did. That's my take on it. The total people that got in the juniors, none of them impressed me. But some of the single lift I saw, I was impressed with the single lift. So what's your take on that?
Yeah. You know what? Outside of, so I agree en masse, because in the 52s, Camille, and it's got a French sounding, but I'm butchering her name a little. She's hit 405 and she just started powerlifting in 2022. It's fucking insane for 52 in your first 4 months to hit a 405. Gentlemen, 425 won silver medal at Worlds. To put in context, she's at a junior hitting 405 in 6 months. So just to put in context, France got shooters and she's one of them. Mm-hmm. So, but her total came down a little. So I understand what you mean, where I think she won a world title and is someone to watch. But I know what you mean, where you're like, okay, all right. Laura from France, 76, same deal. Hit a 570 in the gym. She did a 555. She's someone to watch, but it wasn't like the total maybe we're expecting. So en masse, I do agree with you. Jad Jacob and Maya in Brazil, 57s, same deal, where Jad Jacob has hit 480. You might have anticipated 480 plus. Mm-hmm. And then Maya it's like she ended up winning. Jad ended up, kind of pulling out. She hit her token opener dead, but you understand she lost that last deadlift. That was a record, but she was already had the title won. But I get what you're saying. The totals weren't exactly. So I would agree en masse with that. One that I thought the total that did surprise me, as well as the 93s. I thought they could have, the battle itself was fucking phenomenal, but the totals weren't as high as I anticipated. And some of the totals came down. But the battle
disappointed me. They're not afraid disappointed me big time. I'm not saying the guys didn't do well. Again, they did well, but we were expecting the 830, 840.
Right. I agree. And they did too. They actually told me, a couple of fellas told me leading in 830, 840.
Name names, bro.
Names, mate.
Dog.
This is a safe place.
Never burn a source. Ooh. Never burn a source. That's a podcast 101, Playboys. If you want longevity,
you did me that. I like respect for Panna. So yeah, cool.
No, but
so
wait a sec. Let me say something though. So I love the battle was good. So some of the battles like Maya, Jad Jacob until Jad had to pull up, but like some of the other battles were good. But the 83s, there was one guy who did that impressed me, Sean Jin from the US, won the 83s. I didn't 100%. Think he did 797.5. When I met him in the lobby, he was like, I think I'm around 800. And I'm like,
he's more than that.
And he's probably more than that now. Yeah. But when he told me that, I'm like, in Turkey with this flight, this international travel, the time zones and everything, I'm like, it's maybe 800 if you were in the US, but I didn't think so. He did 797.5 and he had some room. So that was one where the numbers actually, it was actually more than I had thought. And that was probably one of the few. Everyone else, I think I'm like you. The single lifts are phenomenal, but some of the battles were good, but everybody in the battle kind of came down on their numbers. So yeah, this Worlds was it was different, but I still think we got some stars from it. I think some of these people are going to be stars.
There is a lot of talent. There is a lot of talent coming up in youngsters that are coming. But again, as I said, we were expecting fire because these guys are young. You expect them to go all out. They're not like us. We worrying about my knees. I'm worrying about my knees. I'm worrying about my hip. You know what I mean? I'm worrying about my shoulders. You know, you're going to pop. I might not be able to lift my son. Do you know what I mean? But these guys are young. I was expecting fire. Oh, look, the 83, I kid you not, I thought the 83, the guy that will win 83 will be around 78, 79. Right?
Same.
Sean Jin surprised me. Same. After the first squat he took, I said, "Oh my God, this boy has got 800 on him." Right? Straight, I said he has 800, and he proved it. We proved it to us. And with Mendes, we know Mendes' story. To me, he did really well. He should literally be proud of what he did in Turkey, because no one was backing him to get a 780 anyway. So yeah, the single lift impressed me. But again, as we mentioned, the battles were good, but the total was shit.
Like Coco had. I mean, Coco returned the form that he hit 895. But again, I would have wanted, like he's capable of more. He's capable of more. On mass, it wasn't. You're right. Like I think all the lifters would be like, "Fuck, I got more than that. I got more than that." If you told them this is your best, they'd be like, "No, I got more." I'm not sure what it was, which is interesting because it's across the board like that, huh?
Coco is coming back to the Europeans, so yeah. I know I spoke to him on the DM. I can't disclose the conversation, but yeah. I was expecting for 895, 900 from Coco at the juniors. We actually did the math, but yeah, it is what it is. Joey, go for it.
No, Espen, bro, Espen, go.
I got a question here, right? We're gonna take it way back here because this is a question that everyone's always said, "What if?" Like, what if this guy did this, did that? Michael C. and Taylor Atwood, we're going to take it back, right? He was so close, right? He was probably the only guy to ever come so close to being Taylor Atwood. Do you reckon if he did beat Taylor Atwood, he would have stayed at 74 and probably progressed from then on? Or do you reckon there was always like something that injuries were always hitting him to the fact that he just had to jump to 83s?
Okay.
In your opinion.
Good question. Here it is. I like these what ifs, huh? The alternate universes, because this happened in an alternate universe. Somewhere it happened.
And only because there was so much hype. Because I remember that was one, like I said before, that was one of my favorite podcasts from you, like with the whole 74s and everything like that. So the day that they actually did compete, it was crazy, man.
Taylor would say, "In every fucking universe do I win."
100%. No,
that's what Taylor would say. You know it. That's goat talk.
What would you say?
All right. So if C wins, and honestly, let's just fucking say he did. I think he stays 74, and here's why. I think even though, what's interesting, him as an 83, I think he competed. He was like 77 kilo, and I would have expected he was like it had been a hot minute since he had to make 74, 75. And I was like, you're like 2 to 3 kilo over. That's all the mass you put on. I don't know what the situation was with the weight cut, but he was, let's pull it up right now. Let me make sure I'm not talking out of school here, but I'm pretty sure, pulling this up on Open Powerlifting, he spells his name differently with Michael, huh? Yoink. All right, let's fucking take a look at this. Gentlemen, so Raw Nationals 2021, 74 kilo, 73.5. So in Virginia Pro, he's 75.3 kilo. Fuck, man. And then in the US Nats, it just passed, he's 79.7. So like, he's a pretty small 83 still. You gotta think. I think he stays 74. And if he beats Taylor, if you beat Taylor, you're doing an encore presentation. You got a rivalry. And if you're good enough to beat Taylor's a 74, it didn't hurt you that much to go 74. Yeah. If you're good enough to beat Taylor at 74, however bad it fucked you up, it didn't fuck you up that much because you beat Taylor Atwood. You know what I'm saying? So if you can pull that off, I think he's still 74 today. Now, could he have done it a second and third and fourth time? Because Taylor's a motherfucker. You want to talk about a dog? Taylor loses, love. He's reorganizing his life. You know what I'm saying? He's coming. He's coming.
Bro, he's got teams though, man. Fuck.
Yeah, man,
Teams. His teams have teams.
Yeah, his teams have teams.
That's what we need, isn't it? I mean, I was talking to Ryan before you jumping on the pod. You can never be competitive with someone that is ticking all the boxes. It's impossible. You know, you can't go and work in Tesco here in our supermarket and then you're competing against Anthony Joshua that isn't bloody or some fucking weather there is boxing every single day. He's in Moscow and shit, you know, and then you think you're going to beat someone like that. You're not going to do it, because the thing is that I believe what makes Taylor Harwood good is not, yeah, he has talent, he has the strength, but is the other variables around him.
Yeah, it's the
that's what makes him a champion.
It's 10 out of 10.
To become a champion, you can't just become a champion yourself. You need that team. So what I'm saying, Joey, if you want us to win a world championship as an 83, you gotta fix yourself, boy.
No, but like,
yo,
but for real, we see in other sports, like for instance, when the UFC started getting big, George St. Pierre was on the rise, and what he did that completely changed the game. He got specialists in every fucking place. So like Freddie Roach is one of the greatest boxing coaches of all time. To get his hands better, he got Freddie Roach. To get his kickboxing better, he brought in like a multiple time world champion kickboxer. Because once he got a little money and he's like, how do I level up so to make the gap so people can't? Well, most of these guys haven't hit my level yet and making the money I got. So they can't get there unless they beat me. So you're not going to make my money unless you beat me. But so now that I have the money, how do I make sure you don't beat me? I'll spend my money reinvesting. So I have boxing coach, kickboxing. John Danaher's the greatest jiu-jitsu coach and submission coach of all. God, John Danaher. He made a team around him, and they're all mine now. You can't afford to match me. It's like a salary cap in a sport, and my salary cap is maxed, and you can't come close. And like to Jaron's point, a lot of these guys had day jobs. Now try to beat me, because this is all I do. And I'll fly around the world to the best camps and I'll make it happen. So the same thing in terms of Taylor. He said this on the KOTL podcast, the one podcast that fucking blew, where he said, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to beat you.
Oh, yo, I listened to that, bro.
Dog, I still listen to it over and over.
I
love that.
Wild.
It was wild. So he talked about it on that podcast where he's like, I look around at so-and-so is going to beat me this year, that year, whatever. I look around, I see what they're doing, and I'm like,
nah.
You guys you're not checking these boxes. Like, you don't understand. In terms of like my nutrition, in terms of even Jason from Strength Guys, who built his program, sent it to a fucking guy in Australia with 2 PhDs of load management, said, review my work. I want peer-reviewed work for what we're doing for our athletes. Who the fuck? And then, and they have like all these guys working in terms of RMTs and the whole nine on tail, like on site in New York, and then reporting back to Jason. And Jason has all these, like, it's crazy, man. And in terms of their scouting, and they know like the percentage based, if you, not just how often do you miss your third squat? How often do you miss your third dead? But how often, if you miss your third squat, what's now the percentage of your third dead? If you hit your third squat, okay, well, that number changed for your percentage of your third. They have all this down written. So while it's unfolding, they're like, yeah, but okay, well, the game just changed because that just happened. Now, what do we have here? Okay, so they have all of this shit prepped though, like different for Taylor. Do they do this for every single person they got? I don't know, but I know for Taylor, it's so crazy the lengths that they go. And then I've seen screenshots of Taylor's program in terms of like the data they put in. They log like what's your sleep, what's your food, outside stresses. Okay, well, this has come down. They go back and they're like, no, you know what? Because if you don't do this, Taylor's like, the program's not working. I'm feeling fatigued. Maybe, but the variables I have here, you haven't been sleeping and eating the same, and there's a stressor. I could fuck with the program just based off of that feedback, but I might be changing something that doesn't need changed. And now that we did that, what's going to happen? There's repercussions. Or every fucking data they pull off Taylor, it's crazy. There's no boundaries though. They have to know everything. They'll do that with Taylor. That's what makes Taylor. They won't do that. You wouldn't even ask women crazy. Like, how's your marital life? How's this? How's that? It's inappropriate. But with Taylor, it's like they're so next level, like on everything, to Jaren's point where it's like, how do you beat this fucking guy now? Where it's like, there's no variables. They know everything.
As a person that likes details and shit, I'm kind of mad at that they're making it work. Mad because I've always, heard shit being said like, when there's too many chefs in the kitchen, shit's gonna get messy. But for somehow they've perfected that recipe, and it annoys me a little bit. I don't know why, but it just does.
Well, because it might not work for everyone, to your point. That might not work for everyone, to your point.
Yeah.
You're right, isn't it? It's the marquee, isn't it? Again, what you said there. I mean, going back to MJ, Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson was coming out as Jackson 5, yes, everyone could see there was only one star. You know what I mean? Which was Michael Jackson. What did the father do? He put every single resource they had.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The father, what he did, he put every single resources they had on him. Right. He said, look, you're all good, but there's only one star.
Right.
I can never split the resources. As you said, your point that you're saying, oh, you don't know if they do it for everybody. But how would they do it for everybody if they have one mega star? So if they split it for everybody, you might not work for the mega star.
You also, like, I'm telling you, you legit couldn't, and literally in terms of boundaries, people would not want that. Like, you think you want it until Jason needs to log what's going on in your personal life to know if this could be disrupting training, so that he knows if he needs to change numbers or you're just stressed and your cortisol levels are high because this is going on in your personal life. They are like, that relationship is unique, man. You, like, if you were a coach, like, I'm going to replicate what Strength Guys does, but for everybody. Sure. Try to dive into someone's DMs like that and ask personal questions. Start being like, I need you to report your body weight, the food you eat, to personal life, to sleep. Some people be like, Joey, like, so you do that to a 22-year-old girl and they might be like, this guy's fucking, it could go totally sideways on you. You know, it could be like, it could be, even though you're like, no, listen, it works. Trust me. Look what they did with Taylor Atwood. You're like, I'm being honest. But so that's why, like, it's unique. And Taylor just bought into this to the fucking point where he's like all in, and it's a unique set. So they got ahead. So they got way ahead. And they're science-based too. Some people are more intuitive-based. Some people are science-based where, like, they're humble enough to be like sending this off to guys with PhDs, being like, fucking fact check this for me. Like, tell me, am I crazy? Here's all of the data. And I need data points for this. And they review it and they send it back and like, you're on. And like, okay, game on. Or they send it back with some notes and they change some things up and like, now we're on. Who the fuck does this? And
I'm talking to Taylor, nutritionist, right? I won't give you all the details here. The man is studying a PhD just on that.
Yeah. No, and they have several PhDs around Taylor.
Yeah.
They have several.
I'm not talking. Look, you get nutritionists nowadays that go and do a little certificate there, level 2, level 3. The man is studying a PhD just on that. Yeah. Right? Because I was, like, the conversation started just like to be a little bit open about my body weight and my calories and all that. I was just chatting because I did talk to my world. And when I came here, I was chatting to him, listen, this is what's happening. And he was saying to me, like, mate, this is easy to fix. I was like, how the fuck are you saying it's easy to fix? I've been doing this thing for 6 and fucking damn years and I can't fix this shit. But he said, like, oh, do you know what I do? I'm studying a PhD on that. As soon as he said that, I shut it. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. How can you beat someone like that? It's almost unbeatable.
It's very difficult because it's like, first, that's Kedrick, right? Are you talking about? Yeah, we should give him a shout out. So anyone listening. But in terms of, like, imagine if they took like Rondell Hunt and they're like, this is what we're going to do to you. And it's, I don't know who Rondell's with or what his situation or whoever it is. And they're like, this is what we're going to do, but we're going to have multiple sets of teams around you at all time. And like amongst those multiple sets of teams, multiple sets of PhDs and all the rest, like this is like they're working on some professional athlete level where that's why when Taylor jumps in here and starts winning Sheffield and starts taking bags, $50,000 worth, because he's operating like a professional athlete already. And he has been, it's fucked up, man. And eventually the rest of like eventually the rest of there's going to be multiple sets of this kind of thing happening, but yeah, it's tough, man. And he had to be a physical gifted freak as well, right? Like you couldn't tell.
You can't take that away from him. You can't take that away from him. Anyway, Joey, is yours next.
Okay, cool. Mine are just quick ones, like quick ones. Just you don't need to go in detail. Trust me, you don't.
I might though. I talk, dog. I can't help it.
But that is it. All right, cool. Cause all right. You know what? Just top 3 on this. Arnold's is coming up, right? Literally in 2 weeks. Literally 2 weeks time. 2 weeks time. Who's your top 3 picks for men's? So if you need a little recap,
pull up. Yeah.
So 1st to 5th is Chance, Mo, Durance over here right now. I'm gonna apologize. Fon Gang, Tetchat from Cameroon, and Pana in 5th. Oh, and obviously Rico in 6th. Just so I put it in there. But yeah, so top 3 from those names. Who you picking?
Feng Zhang, he was going to be at one of those other events and he pulled out. Is he
at World? He's going to be at 83 at World, and then he dropped to 874, and then my man never turned up.
Yeah, I don't got a lot of confidence in that. But I've seen some videos. Some people send me videos, and he is strong. He's not totally. He's strong, but I'm not confident in this.
Yeah, kind of sus. But yeah, top 3, bro. Let's go.
Sus, you know.
It's suspect. I'm gonna go Chance number 1.
Okay.
If and this is off of IPF points.
Yeah.
Let me just punch in some numbers here if you want fucking. Or you just want to fucking do it dirty. I mean, Penna's gonna be in the top 3 as well. I don't know if you want me to...
That means either Juris or Mo is out here, boy.
Definitely me. I dropped. Mo go
second. And Mo. Yeah, Mo's gonna be in there. Yeah. Sorry, doggy. But if like the Penna hype, if he's saying 730, but he's still lower than that, I would have to. Jurens, what are you looking at? Let me get my calculator up here. You don't have to give me everything, but what do you think is your numbers?
Me?
Yeah.
Don't even dare bring me into this. Okay, cool.
800 plus.
I was gonna say let's ask Joey instead than Jurens, because technically Joey should have more of an idea as to what you
do. I do. But I'm not giving it.
Ryan, there's one logic I always go by. I never give people more than 2.5 kilo than my last total. I always go by that logic.
2.5 kilo up?
Yeah. Which is 790.
On each lift or?
No. 790.
My man over here. Fucking
790. If you want to ask the rest, my coach is there. You ask him.
Okay, well, hang on one sec. That's 111, and then Penna. You know what? Fuck, man.
Joey's pulling out a calculator to do mine himself.
Yeah, like essentially, if Penna's 715, fuck, you might take Penna. The only thing is, I would have put you above Penna unless, you might take Penna. Here's the thing. So I would put you above Penna if Penna does the world record and just does the world record and leaves it there, because if you want to go to Sheffield, whatever the shit, you're going to take, I think you could take it. You just have to be 805 range or whatever the shit. I got to think you got 805 in you though. You got to live up to that. And that's not easy.
All I can say is, okay, so what? So your top 3 is now who?
Panna. So Chance, Abdul, and Panna.
Right.
Okay.
But the intangible is what I just said. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And also, it goes up to light to heavies, right? So Panna comes first, so we know what to go for.
Yeah.
And but then Mo comes after, so I don't know,
But it's between you guys and Panna, though. Let's punch in Mo's. I mean, we're predicting though. We don't know what the fuck everyone's gonna do.
But Mo is wild. Mo is wild.
Did you guys see Mo's 360 for doubles today?
Yeah.
Didn't Mo say though? Didn't he say he didn't? Anyone of the post? Didn't he say training wasn't going well? Or am I making that
what
up?
Mo says?
His training's going.
Every post he posts, I'm thinking it's Cap immediately, just to
Mo
psych
is a
out.
freak.
Really? All right.
Yeah,
You're
real-
right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I
Mo-
can say
Mo is
that
about-
because he's not on with us right now. But if he was here,
Mo-
I'll
Mo-
probably.
More is about what? More probably. I'm talking about, no jokes aside.
His training.
In Arnold, I'm seeing like 9:10, 9:15
Fuck.
for Mo.
His training is looking
Literally.
fucking good.
And at the
man.
Europeans, Mo is gonna beat Emil.
Fuck.
Yeah. I give you that.
Well, let's see this Arnold, because this will be the big indication. Because it's in the UK, it's obviously friendly travel.
Mo is coming
It's,
to play. He's okay. Let's put it this way: he's coming to leave a statement on the table for you guys to have a headache when you do your preview for the Euros.
Okay, that's okay. I'm in for it. I'm here for it, man. I love Mo. First off, he's as nice a guy as you're gonna find.
Well,
and second
he's
off,
a nice
we need
guy.
contenders.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, Ryan, right? We're forgetting. People always talk about Emil's deadlift, right? People said, "Oh yeah, Emil can pull anything he needs to win." Are you forgetting? You guys are forgetting that deadlift of Emil is only 2.5 kilo more than Mo.
Right.
It's
No,
only
Mo's got a monster
2.5 kilos, and Mo is younger, and he has a lot in him. What I mean, a lot. That 360 you guys saw, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I will leave it there.
Yeah. The reason why Emil, it's not even necessarily that the weight that Emil deadlifts, like it is, like it's fucking huge. But the thing with Emil, when he needs it, it's the biggest thing in sports. Like, it's one thing to have a big one, but when you need it and you have done it a couple times at big moments, like when he upset Anatoly was fresh off of 2021 best lifter. And Anatoly had to beat Kaiko, beat Russ, beat Jesus, and he won best lifter for when Emil needed it. You know, it's special.
Yeah,
it's not even the weight.
Yo,
it's like,
when
that was a moment.
when it came down to the wire, oof.
And then it's same at Worlds where like he needs it. It's like he keeps doing it. Like it's special.
He needed it because special at World, he had a very bad squat, bad timing with the squat, and that deadlift, that's why he came to save him. You're right. Yeah. I get what you mean. When he needs it, it's always there for him, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's never there for Enna, so Enna need it as well. So
he did. My man. But to that point, it won't always be there. It's just it's. I don't know. It's one of those sports stories that's happened. But I think Mo is I would love for Mo to emerge in a major way, because I can't say enough good things about that kid. He's a phenomenal guy. I've had him on the podcast. I'll like with you, Jerns, obviously, but like, man.
Just not as good.
He emerges.
I think he is the best the third best 105 in the world at the moment. But at the Europeans against Emil, that's when he had literally to put his stamps on.
That's his opportunity. When you beat a reigning world champion, people take notice. Just like Emil beat Anatoly, the reigning world champion, then he won the world title. And going into the world championships, he had a different degree of respect because he beat a reigning world champion.
Oh yeah.
If Mo beats the reigning world champion, it elevates him a whole nother level, man. Not only did he become European champion, but it's also like, I also beat the world champion. Like it's fucking up. So yeah, man.
For what I'm seeing from him, I can see it. Anyway, let's save that for another day.
I got last two questions.
Keep going.
These are easier ones.
No worries.
Okay. I'm gonna leave the hottest one for last. But yeah. You know what? Just easy one. Top 3 out of the 3 of us. Who is your favorite poddy?
Oh my favorite buddy?
Podcast hosting.
Oh, poddy. Got you, man. Fuck me.
Careful, otherwise you might not come back again.
That's it, man. What is going on here? What is this shit? I thought you said it was easy ones. I don't think I could do a 1, 2, 3, man. I need more sample than this.
Oh, say no more. Come back and I'll ask the same thing again. Yeah.
There it is.
There we go. See what I did there? So
that's why there it is.
Very smart. And for that, we're gonna say Joey wins.
Joey wins.
No. All right, cool. You know what? Let me ask my last question, because we asked Rondell the same thing, and I'm so happy you mentioned Enna quite a few times in just literally a minute ago. So I asked Rondell this, and when we had Enna on, Durant, stop, man. Come on. I want to say this with a serious tone. So we are.
I can't take you serious. I'm sorry.
No, hey, listen. All right. So we asked Rondell and we asked Enna himself, because Enna was chatting the most. He was like, yeah, I'm going to do what it takes to bring Russ back to the IPF, right? And he was saying, take his record, right?
Yeah.
Take his total record.
Yeah.
And he was, and we asked him, so how are you going to do that? And obviously lift more than him, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, all right, cool. What numbers are we talking about here? And one of it included what Duran said earlier, a 399 pull, right? That's a kilo away from 400. So we asked Rondell, both Durance and I asked Rondell, what is he gonna break first, right? Russ's record or his back?
I knew you were gonna say this. As soon as you said, "What's he gonna break first?" I'm like, my man has just set himself up. And I got you, Playboy. I like it.
Yeah.
You're gonna do well.
Then let's play, bro. What's the answer?
Play. Let's play. I look at what I said earlier about this man made me rethink things. If you would have asked me in May, if this conversation, we'd have this conversation, or if it was ridiculous, I would say this kid's going to break his back. He's going to break his he's going to hyperextend both knees and get folded like a fucking lawn chair. You know what I'm saying? But you ask me in September, after I seen what I seen, dog, I'm a believer. I had a coming to Jesus moment in South Africa. This dude, I don't know what his upper bound limits are, but I'm excited to watch. And if he says 399 is possible, load up 399 and put it in that young man's hands. And I'm not doubting him anymore. He's a junior. Who knows what he's capable of in his career? If he hits it next or hits it in the future, like I'm not like saying he's going to, but if you're asking me, this is it's not a joke. If this is what he thinks is possible, it's no joke. It's definitely no joke. And yeah, man, I think it's more, he'll break that record before he breaks his back.
Okay, say no more. And on that note, yeah, you better tag along Russ when that happens on this podcast. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll do it. We'll definitely get some traction.
But yeah, bro, I mean, we're all questioned out, really enjoy this. I hope you had fun too. Definitely would love to have you back. I had fun. This was long, but good and delicious for a reason. So yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you so much for coming, lads. If you have any last words, or if you have any last words yourself after these two.
Nah, honestly, just thank you so much for coming on, man. Honestly, it's been fucking great having you on. I still remember the first day you probably didn't even remember because you probably reposted so many people. But I still, to this day, I remember the day that you reposted my video on King of the Lifts.
No shit.
Guys, if you guys saw my reaction, right? I actually remember it. It was 11 p.m. I was in my living room in my parents' house. And no joke, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm probably gonna get grilled from everyone now when they're gonna probably print screen this shit. I screamed. I literally shouted. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? It was my 292.5 deadlift, 292 kilos, 292.5 for triples. And this is when I was a 74. So I wasn't a 66 at this point. Yeah, I was 74 at this point. And yeah, when you reposted that, oh shit. Literally, I went all crazy. I remember telling all my mates, I print screened it, sent it to all my boys. I proper fangirled. And it's just like little things like that. It just comes to show that you're honestly, what you're doing in the powerlifting community is amazing, man. I hope you understand. I hope you know what you're doing in the world. But little things like that, it just makes a huge difference to everyone, man. Just by you reposting, it just changed the way that I felt that night. It just motivated me more to just want to push more. So what you're doing right now for the community, man, is fucking 10 out of 10. I'm not even joking. Little things like that, it just made me want to just push more and more and more in my training. So I hope you know that, Ryan, man. What you're doing is fucking crazy for the community, man.
It gives me the gas I need. Listen, it feels good to hear stories like that and realize that's what it is. It's help people get exposure that they haven't got and give people that feeling, man. Let them fucking feel that. Let them have the spotlight and be like, fuck yeah, man. When I go to Worlds, afterwards, I'll see a couple people in the juniors and I'm like, yo, that's getting posted. Holy shit, was that amazing? I'll come back and make sure, give them their praise. And oh shit, really? I'm like, yes, man, you murdered that. I'm good on you, whatever. That's the whole reason why I want to do this. It's cheesy to say, but it's true. feels better to like make people feel good than just do something to make your fit self feel good. It's weird, but it's true, man. When you make someone else happy or make someone else's day, it fucking feels so much better. So when you can put positivity and build something where it's like, here's a community, come to King of the Lifts. We'll show all the best lifts and do breakdowns and all the rest of it. Fuck, man, that's what it's all about.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope we made King of the Lifts day, boy. That was the goal today. Yeah.
It's been a blast, dude. You guys do a fucking phenomenal podcast, man. You guys are killing it. I knew you guys are killing it when I was in Turkey. I could see all the posts and shit. And if you guys tag me, I will repost to help your podcast as well and shit.
Brother,
I got your fucking back. All right, I got your fucking back. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
I got goosebumps. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna front. I got goosebumps.
We'll do more crossover episodes and shit, and we'll do this. We'll make a push.
Yes, sir. But yeah, thank you very much, brother. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, man. Thank you so much again for this. And yeah, man, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Yeah, bro.
See you, man. Take care, bro.
Bye-bye.